All right, hold on. I'm gonna... gonna mute everybody or unmute. 10, 9.
It's already there, Tony. It's already there.
What? And then unmute. All right, you're not muted anymore.
All right, guys, welcome once again to Curse of Strahd. We will be playing through the entire module with quite a few modifications made based off of my extensive experience as a DM, as well as just changing a few things for the hell of it. It'll be fun. Tonight, we are going to be picking up with our party, who, when we last left off, had walked into an old manor house on a hill as they left the Svalish wood. On either side of the house was an old stable and an old servant's house. There were two children outside, one of which was holding a lantern, a young girl and a young boy, who told them that their mommy and daddy had gone down into the basement to take care of a monster. They had gotten scared and ran out of the house, leaving their little brother upstairs, the baby crying, and they were worried about him. Without hesitation, the intrepid heroes that we have with us ran into the house. Some might think it is because there was a child in danger and a monster to be slain, but those of you that tuned in last week know it was simply because they were tired of being wet and having the rain pour down around them. As you see before you, you see the iron gates of the house, the front door open, lights on in the windows. And as we pick up, we will be picking up with the party inside of the foyer of this home. So if you guys want to take it away, you can chat a little bit as you're running in. Those last few conversations you were having as you walked into the home before the door slammed shut, and I will let you know what's going on.
Oh my gosh, it's I'm all wet and muddy. Oh.
Dan's just shaking his arms to get rid of some of the water. Definitely a little spooked by the door closing.
I sense something's wrong here. We should move with caution. Perhaps something has happened.
Well, the children did say there was a monster to fight, so should we focus on the child first? Yes,
wait,
we should focus
there's a
on the child
monster?
first.
I'm sorry, I completely missed that. I was looking for shelter. Can you let me in?
The children outside were telling us that their parents were in the basement fighting a monster, and their little brother is upstairs.
Yes.
A baby.
And as you
Dan's
enter
gonna
into
try to
the
open the door.
main hall, well, the foyer entryway of this home, you notice that hanging on the south wall of the foyer is a shield emblazoned with a coat of arms, a stylized golden windmill on a red field, flanked by framed portraits of stony-faced aristocrats. Mahogany-framed double doors leading from the foyer are set also with opaque panes of stained glass. Hanging here, you see the shield, and behind it, you see the hilt of what looks to be a sword of some sort.
May I inspect those things using like a noble history sort of check?
Absolutely. Go ahead and give me a history check. And with a 24, you are very familiar with most noble houses. You're very familiar with their family crests, their seals. You spent many years of your childhood studying these things as your family had more or less forced you to help with your upbringing. And what confuses you the most is one, the age of these things. They seem to be very, very old, so you should know something about them. But there's no family crest that you know of that bears a windmill over a crimson field.
Odd. I don't recognize these symbols. Do either of you? And I gesture towards Kaylin and Tian.
Can I do a history check on the symbols, if possible?
You can go ahead and give me a history check as well, Abraham.
Let me
I
see.
highly doubt that Tian would know much about aristocracy of this region.
I have studied for many years. Let me see what I can decipher. Maybe I can know what it means. All right, let me roll my history and...
However,
Ooh, don't know much.
That is a wonderful roll.
Ooh.
as Abraham is doing his history roll, could I just looking at it, or getting a little close to it, do I sense like there's any magic on these weapons?
Go ahead and give me an Arcana check. Normally, I would say you'd need Detect Magic for that, but I will allow an Arcana check to see if you can notice anything etched or markings that would
Yeah.
denote any type of magical properties.
Go on.
And you said the doors slammed shut behind us?
Yes, the 2 doors that are behind you, though they are still open on the map, are shut behind you.
So Kaylin would try to open the door.
Oh, I rolled too many times. I'm sorry.
Oh, geez.
It wasn't registering. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Abraham, though you have done a lot of studying of history and nobility,
God damn. Okay.
it doesn't ring a bell to you. It's not something that ever truly interested you. And Tion, as you get a little bit closer and you sort of like wipe some of the cobwebs and dust, just the standard stuff that will build up on any painting that's been hanging on a wall for a period of time, you're looking around the edges for any signs of markings or any stamps of magical nature. You see nothing.
Okay.
But as you do so, you do start to hear the sound of the handles trying to be turned as you look back and you see Kaylee trying to open the doors, and they are not budging.
Kaylee, wait. Hold on before you open the doors. Maybe should listen to see if we hear something on the other side.
And also, for my players, as you're moving through, please let me know when you want to interact with one of the doors. You, as a player, can freely click on the doors to open and close them. I just ask you do not do so willy-nilly, because you know not what you might engage.
Oh, God.
Kaylin was trying to mess with the front door, by the way, not any of the internal doors. for
Oh,
those who
okay.
missed.
Yes,
Oh,
the door's
oh.
over here.
Okay.
Yes, exactly.
So nothing magical about the shield and the sword, right?
No, but you see that they're just simply mounted on the wall, and as you sort of look back, you can tell that this is indeed a short sword that is hanging on the wall.
We can't hear you right now, Jay.
We are short of weapons. Perhaps we should take the sword.
The
Oh, I
short
heard you
sword?
now.
Okay. Did everything go mute for a sec?
Yeah.
Okay. But could I take them off the mount, the shield and the sword?
You absolutely can.
Okay.
Yay.
Then I will do that.
Yay.
And I will go ahead and add those to your inventory,
Alrighty.
just because
Do
it's
they
easier for me to run it from my end real quick.
Yeah.
And what was your question, Kaylee?
I'm sorry, I was just gonna make a joke that how the light's coming from the sword and shield on the wall. I was wondering if they're gonna continue to glow for her, or for him as he walks around.
They are not. The light is actually coming from the candlelight around them.
Well, so Kaylin's gonna tell everyone that the doors are locked and we can't go back outside. And can she peer through them at all? I know we saw, like you mentioned that we saw the kids disappearing. I just wanted to. She just wants to double check to like verify that they're actually not there. Is there like a crack or something or a window?
Unfortunately, these doors do not seem to have anything like that. The panes of glass that are set into the door are leaded, so you cannot see through them. And it is a solid, heavy oak wood.
So the kids disappeared?
Yeah, the kids on the patio, they kind of like faded out, but I can't tell if they're there or not, or if it was just like the fog or something. But the doors are locked and I can't open it.
That's odd. Did you catch their names by any chance? I was too distracted.
No. I was going to ask questions, but alas.
So Tion, you take the sword and shield off the wall, inspecting them. They're in very good condition.
Great.
And actually, under further inspection, they look immaculate, as if they've never seen battle.
Solid.
Absolutely.
Or not solid because they're only a showpiece.
Could be.
Hmm.
I mean, it's something.
It is better than having
Caitlin's
nothing
not
in your hands.
Kaylin is not a blacksmith, so Kaylin cannot tell you. So then, if we can't go back, I guess we can only go further inward.
Moving forward.
Aren't we going to fight the monster?
What was that, Rumari?
Are we?
Aren't we going to fight the monster?
What
Well-
monster?
If those children were real and all of that was true, then upstairs there should be a baby. We could do that first, but if we can't get out, then there's probably no point in that. So we get rid of whatever it is.
And the monster with the baby.
Yeah, exactly.
Should we split up in order to try to find this
Not
baby?
at all. No, let's not.
That makes me nervous.
Yes, it makes me very nervous as well.
Goodness.
Now, why would splitting up in a nice warm house make you nervous?
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with splitting up in this mansion. It's obviously of some sort of nobility that I've not heard of before.
Miss Chris, if you would like to go and look for the child, then feel free. However, I would rather stay with everybody else.
This is out of character. The doors themselves, are they magically locked or just regularly locked? The door going out back. They go out back outside.
All you know is that they are locked.
And is there a fire? Is there a fire burning in the room?
There are 2 candles on either side of where the shield once laid
Okay. So there's
that are actually burning currently.
okay. And is there tapestries in the room?
No, there are only the portraits on the walls.
So there's kindling. I could burn something.
Yes, if you wanted to.
Start a fire underneath the door. Burn the door. Get the hell out. That's my thought.
Do you say that out loud?
Well, no, I'm just thinking that to the party. What do y'all think?
We have to
Wait,
say
wait.
it out loud for us.
If you
to
say
get
it
our
out
opinion.
loud.
I was asking quietly before I messed up and made a mistake. All right, I have perhaps an idea. There's 2 candles, as well as those portraits. If we do not want to go forward, we may be able to go back, take a small fire, light it on the door, weaken the wood, and then kick it, and we could get out. Once the door has been properly heated, it will become weakened, and we could escape. We don't know what's here.
Do we know if someone lives here? I mean, someone had to light these candles, right?
Yeah, but that someone also locked us in their home.
Something is
I mean, it
wrong
could have
here.
been the wind, and they could have just blown and got stuck.
I think we should try to get out while we have a chance. Whatever's here would certainly follow us, and we'd have a better chance to survive on our own terms rather than playing on its home turf.
I counter that with, if there's somebody here that needs help, shouldn't we attempt to help?
That is noble. I could agree with that. But if we are to help, we should first ascertain the danger before walking blindly into it. How could we be helped if we're dead?
I like having a escape available in case of emergencies, so I believe burning down this door would not be a bad idea, even if we're going to try to help.
Then let's attempt to burn the door down.
This still
Would
seems
that
like a
not
huge overreaction.
just set the house on fire?
If it's just under the door and we kick it out, or anything like that, then we could theoretically take the fire away from them? Maybe?
I don't-
know.
If I just kind of look around, is there anything in this room that might help with picking the lock on the door?
Go ahead and give me an investigation.
Yeah, sure. Give me a second.
Tian's a Gryffindor. His first choice is to kick the door down.
Get the hell out of here.
Take it!
Burn it and get out. Burn this shit. Get the hell
He's
out
not
of here.
that strong, though.
Also, Tian, make sure that you reset your roles from private to public.
Are they not?
And Rumari, you start investigating the room.
Oh,
Like
okay.
looking at the candles,
Yes.
looking at the nails that are hanging. Like you take one of the paintings off the wall and you look at the nails and the wire that are there. You think using the nails, using the wire, and maybe breaking one of these frames, you might be able to find a few thin pieces of metal that you might be able to use to make a rudimentary lockpick, but you know that it will not work well, and you know it will not work for long.
So, someone in the stream said I'd be surprised how helpful we could be if we were dead. I don't want to die. So, you got a few people here saying they see, and they all suffocated. If we start the fire, we're gonna suffocate.
Valid.
I don't think we'd
I'm
suffocate.
just going to like do that quick look around, and then I'll say, I might be able to get the door open. You said it was only locked.
It could be magically locked, but we don't know, or I don't know at the very least.
I think it might be better to try before we lock
When
ourselves in
somebody
a burning
suggests
building.
that it could be magically locked, I'd like to try to ascertain if there is any magic using like an arcana sort of thing. Is that possible?
Okay, go ahead and give me an Arcana check on the door to see if it is magically locked.
Okay.
While she
As
does
you
that,
hear
I'll make
noises
a lockpick.
echoing what they sound like they're coming from the basement.
Oh goodness.
Oh no.
Oh
You sense
no.
no magic coming from the door.
I don't think it's magically locked, Rumari.
Then I will do my best with what
Here.
I know.
Chris is our resident Arcana master. So
She's
she
doing
says
a
it's not
great
magically
job.
locked.
Yeah. I know everything, right?
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I know she does magic.
Yeah. She does arcane magic.
She does magic I've never seen before.
Definitely.
Then I will take what I know and do my best to see if I can't pick the lock on the door.
All right, go ahead and give me a thieves tool check on your
come
character
on.
sheet. It should be there. It should have a tab that allows you to do tool checks now, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, there's a tools section.
There is?
Yeah.
There it
On your
is.
character sheet, there's
Updates.
attributes, inventory, features, spell book, effects, biography, and
Yeah.
tools.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
And you set the ability to dexterity. The other ability I'm going to set to intelligence for you.
Okay.
And you're going to be giving me a dexterity-based thieves tools check. There is a heavy penalty on it.
Ooh, heavy penalty.
Oof.
So, we will be getting rid of that 5 for the penalty. So with a 17, you look at the lock. It's a fairly basic one. You've seen these locks before. You know how they work. You slide the thin piece of metal in, work the wire in around where the tumblers would be. You start turning it, and you notice something's wrong.
Uh-oh.
The entire inside of the keyhole, once you push the rod in and the wire in and you start moving them, you notice that they're meeting absolutely no resistance whatsoever. So you take one of the candles from the holster, you lean down and you look into the keyhole. You see it is solid on the other end, and you see no tumbling mechanisms whatsoever in this hole, as if it is only ornamental.
What's going on with the door? Are you able to get it open?
Rumari looks put out and stands up and says,
Ramari,
"It's not a lock.
what? You look dejected, Ramari.
It is not a lock. I cannot unlock it.
What the hell is going on here then?
There is nothing there. I cannot unlock it.
Odd.
We lost Jay for a moment. We'll be back.
Everything froze, don't worry.
Welcome back.
If it's not a lock, then there's no choice then to move forward. I can't think of anything else. If this door is magically warded somehow, then Even fire probably wouldn't affect it.
Let's find out. I'm going to cast True Strike at the door, and then
Let's
I'm going to
find
cast
out.
Firebolt at the door.
Okay.
I like your
Go ahead
style.
and give me an attack on the door with advantage.
When in doubt, burn it.
Caitlin's gonna move to the other side of the room.
And you're attacking the door to your right, correct?
I will be right back.
The front door. The front door.
Yeah, that's the one that's over here.
Yeah, yeah.
With a 24, that will absolutely hit. And as you see that firebolt slam into the slats of wood, you see the fire sort of catch and burn away some of the dust that is there, leaving a scorch mark on the wood.
Yay! So it did damage to the door then. There is some damage.
Mm-hmm.
After I do all my spells and everything, I'm going to say, aha! It can be opened with fire.
But nothing happened. It is still closed.
Yeah, that's true.
Only for now. I cast Firebolt again.
Go for it.
Let's go.
You should have never named the stream Death House, Rich. That was your mistake. You should...
Well, it's not so much that it's it's that, like she said, she doesn't like not having an escape.
Also, to be fair, Tony, nothing in this place is named happy-go-lucky things. You have a place that's called, like, every name of every, like, location in this place is a dark and foreboding name.
Well, just lie to us, man. It's okay. I just lie. It's much better
That's
to be
not as
lied
much
to.
fun.
It's
Yeah, but
Unicorn
lying
Mansion.
feels good. Yeah, say there's unicorns in here that poop rainbow ice cream.
And then kill
Also,
us.
let me explain. While you can go ahead and throw a few more firebolts if you would like, as you see that one burst in, and you actually see some of the wood on the front of the door start to split and start to smolder.
Ooh.
Yeah,
You notice that the rooms on this floor is mostly free of dust.
You think
The
he isn't?
floorboards and wall panels all seem to be well oiled. Nothing like everything looks new. It doesn't look as if like age has really taken it, as if it's been freshly furnished.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna keep using Firebolts on the door if it's doing anything.
Okay, you go ahead, throw a few more at it.
Let's go.
I am not opposed to you doing so.
I'm gonna move next to Tien. And gonna talk to him and be like,
All right. So with that, with a crit as well.
Whew.
So you've done 13. All right, and as you throw that last firebolt, you've now caught the main sections of the door on fire, and you see that the fire is slowly, very slowly licking up the wood, as if the wood is wet and swollen, and a thick, heavy steam starts pouring off the door. Now, at this point, I would like to know what everyone else is doing as
Sure.
Chris spends the last few minutes, that few moments throwing firebolts.
Keelan was trying to talk to Tien.
Yeah.
And every sentence or two is just punctuated by another whoosh of flame just smacking into the door.
Pretty much.
Tien's just watching, really. And listening to Kaylin.
Rimari's taking a look at the other door on the other side.
And the other two doors on the other side, you notice, are, like I said, that same heavy, like, oak, but there is also two very large panes of glass with stylized windmills built into them.
Can I see through them?
You cannot.
Are they locked?
Every door in this room is closed, right?
The doors are all closed,
Okay.
yes. Ramar, you try the handle on the door to see if it opens. Go ahead and try it.
Do I need to roll to open the door?
Nope, just click on the little door symbol that's right there.
Oh, I don't want to open it. I just wanted to know if it was locked.
Oh, as you turn the handles turn freely.
I'm going to, like, like turn the handle and then like hold it there and turn around and say, I think maybe we should not burn this building down. These doors are not locked.
Wait a minute. We've been sitting here trying to burn down the front door and the other doors were unlocked?
Well, the front door leads outside. The rest of the doors are.
And here I was thinking my wisdom score was a 19. Apparently it's a 3.
No one ever picked the other set of doors.
Well, I'm not the wisest after all.
Kaylin's gonna turn to Rumari and be like, "Yeah, I don't understand why we're trying to like burn down the house. Like, could potentially have people living here. Like, maybe we can just go find them and figure out why the door's stuck.
Because I
Or
feel
maybe
like...
a different explanation.
Because they trapped me in here.
That's right. They trapped us like
came
animals.
inside, though. You came
Like
inside.
animals.
I'm going to open the door.
Go ahead. And Chris, as that steam starts to pour off of the front door, I need you to give me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Dope. Here it is.
What's a wisdom score, Abraham?
Natural 20.
Damn.
Look at
Damn. Yeah. Woo woo. There we go.
20-ass bitch.
So
Somewhat-
as the steam sort of pours over your face,
Gonna
you breathe it in, and you get a very acrid, burning smell coming from it, and it burns going down your throat, and you start coughing as you move away from the door, and you see the flames that start to lick up a little bit slowly die out. They've spread out a good 3 or 4 inches in all directions before coming to just little embers before going out completely. But whatever this wood was treated with is obviously toxic, and it is not something you want to breathe in.
Does everybody else start to smell that?
I'm just over here going.
And she starts hacking her lungs out. Rumari just opens.
Are
the
you
other
okay?
door.
Chris, what's happened? What's happened to you?
Chris, are you okay?
There's some.
Pass it over here. Pass it.
There's some stuff on this door. It's just.
Kaylin's gonna cover
As
her
Chris
face
is
from
coughing, you all hear the creak of wood and hinges as the 2 doors that Rumari is standing with slowly swing open from the force of her push.
Hurry! We gotta get out of here
And you
before
see a
that
warm
spreads.
light coming in from the hallway beyond.
Does that help clear out some of the smoke, in the room? Make
Oh no,
it
it
easier?
was just a bit of if you ever tried to throw a wet log on a fire,
Okay.
it's
So
the steam that pours off of it. As the fire went out, the steam went away.
okay, so we're okay. All right.
Kaylin's
Alright,
gonna
but-
try to push towards the door and peer through it.
I
Yeah,
guess
it seems like our only option is to fight whatever's down there or explore.
I would have to agree at this point. It seems our only choice is forward.
Alright. And as you move into the main hall, you see this wide hall runs the width of the house, with a black marble fireplace at one end, and a sweeping red marble staircase leading up at the other. Mounted on the wall above the fireplace, you see a longsword with a windmill cameo worked into the hilt. On either side of the fireplace, you see 2 little containers, one holding a shovel, a brush, and a fire poker that you would find by most normal fireplaces to clean and maintain them. And on the other side, you see small cords of wood, no longer than a foot in length, but they're stacked up neatly on the other container. And from where you stand now, you see that there are 3 doors leading off of this main hallway, as well as another hallway to the northwest. You see that the walls themselves are ornately sculpted wood paneling.
Chris is trying to help Abraham since he's obviously slower.
Okay.
Thank you, Chris. I appreciate your
You're staying next to
assistance.
Abraham and just sort of holding his arm, offering your arm for him to hold.
How's
Oh,
my
problem.
cat doing, by the way? Is it very upset?
The cat is just sort of curled at your over your shoulder, just sort of watching things, sort of draped there almost. This
Ugh.
is hands down the laziest cat you've ever met.
Classic Indy.
Most of its body is actually curled up in the hood of your cloak.
Mm. Goodness, this is quite a lavish place, considering they've trapped us in here.
I think
Caitlin
maybe
wanted
we
to
trapped
look
ourselves.
around
One
the
of these
corner.
doors probably leads to the basement. Could I tell where there's sounds coming from downstairs, right?
You did hear sounds momentarily coming from what you presume to be the basement. Yes.
Okay. Was that after we got trapped, or was it only before?
That was while you were in the other room, where you were in the
Okay.
main entryway. Yes.
Do I still hear
And
anything?
go ahead and give me a perception check. And Haley, you were saying something?
Oh, I was gonna say that Kaylin wanted to look down that little tiny hallway, just to peer around it, and so it looks like there's 2 more doors.
There is, yes. As you peer around that corner, you see there are another 2 doors.
So she'll
Tian,
relay that to the rest of the party.
yeah, and Tian, as you're listening, I swear, just faintly, you hear what sounds like the cries of at least 1 or 2 people and the sounds of some sort of snarling or gnashing coming from below the floor.
Only one person hears that? Or do we all, you said we all don't hear that?
Only Tian hears that.
All right.
Like directly below, or can I
You
look in any
can't really
direction?
tell.
Okay. We could try opening some of these doors to see if there's stairs that go down.
And as you're standing there, Abraham, you're sort of looking around the room, as you are Chris. Both of you sort of notice that the door leading into the entryway just slowly and lazily swings until they close. They don't slam shut. They don't seem to be moving preternaturally. Just however these hinges are built, they're just slowly closing.
You said there was some log. Oh, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Oh, go on.
I just wondered, is there some logs or something in this room? You said.
There are, yes.
All right. Is there anything I can use? I just want to prop the doors open so this way it can't. If it's still able to be open right now, I want to make sure it stays open.
All right, go ahead and move over to the door, open it, and then you can take 1 or 2 of those logs. They seem like they might be heavy enough because it doesn't seem like there was a lot of force closing those doors.
All right. So I just want to prop it open to make sure it stays open.
Okay.
So this way it can't
You can't
auto lock on us.
Logs there, and you see as you set logs down, you see the door sort of swing slowly, and as they make contact with the log, they sort of just stop.
Okay. I just want to make sure it doesn't auto lock on us. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Good idea. I'm assisting him.
This door that I'm right next to,
Hi.
I just want to jiggle the handle, see if it is locked or anything.
That's Tian. You want to check the door off to the right there? You can go ahead and you jiggle the handle. It does not seem to be locked.
Okay.
Ramari, I noticed you're down in the other hallway. Is there anything particular you're doing?
Just listening, if I can hear anything.
Go ahead and give me a perception check while you're up by the doors.
Sure.
Could I open the door just like a smidge to see if there's stairs on the other side?
Sure. Don't click on the door yet, Tian, but as you sort of open the door, I'll get to that in just a moment, as you see a set of eyes staring at you. Ramari, you swear that you can hear the sound of clinking glass, mild laughter, and conversation on the other side of the door, most to the east. Or most to the west, sorry.
Okay, that's fucking weird.
That's not unsettling at all.
And
Don't
What's
close
Tian,
the door.
you slowly open the door, and as you peer in, you see a set of eyes looking at you from about like hip height,
Just hip
light
height.
cascading from the room.
Uh,
In that split second, you see that. Do you open the door more? Do you wait, or do you close it?
I'll close it.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna turn everybody and be
Close
like,
the door very quickly.
Yeah, like open it. There's eyes on the other side of this door.
Ooh.
There's eyes?
Is it the child we're looking for?
They said that was a baby. That didn't seem like a baby.
Oh my god. It didn't look like
Is it
what?
is it a person?
It was about up to my hip. So I don't know.
Oh, perhaps it's an animal. And I say, I could go over and check it out if you'd like. I'm quite good with animals.
If you would like.
Maybe we could draw whatever inside out to us. Give
It
us a.
could be a house pet.
Could
And so-
Possibly.
Yeah, I walk my way over there. Sorry, you were speaking, Kaylin.
could it be the children from outside
Ooh,
who just came in through a different entrance?
maybe.
I don't
Kaylin's
know.
gonna walk up to the door and say, "Hello, is there anybody there?" without opening it.
Ah, smart idea.
Okay.
So take a step away.
No response.
Chris waits for a beat to see if there's any response, and then starts to open the door.
Go ahead and open the door.
Oh
Do I see anything?
Oh no.
As you look into the room, you
Oh,
actually move a little bit closer so you can see. Directly next to the door, you see a snarling wolf looking up at you as if it's ready to lunge. You see two more deeper within the room.
I say, wolves!
No.
Oh no.
Do they look like they're about to
With
attack
that-
me?
With that, I need everybody to roll me initiative in just one moment.
Can't we shut the door again? Is there any way we could shut the door?
If you win the initiative, you absolutely can shut the door. All right, everyone go to the combat tracker, which is the second tab, the cross swords, and please click the die next to your name.
Much better than last time.
Same.
Those are wonderful rolls.
Thank
All right,
God.
and with that, we will begin combat. And Kaylin, you are up first. What do you want to do? As you hear Chris shout, "Wolves!"
Kaylin will pull out her quarterstaff and will stand by for Chris to move out of the way, and if the wolf comes through, she'll smack it.
Okay. Next is Abraham.
So we're keeping the door open? Alright. Then I will... I'm trying to figure out exactly what spells I have here. That music's really loud. Is there any way to turn it down?
Oh,
Yeah, you can turn it down.
I think I
yeah,
got
you
it.
want to go into the bell and go under global volume controls and keep them up about a quarter of the way, not all the way down.
Well, I just went into ambient and it's still loud. Hold on. let me
No, it's
try.
playlists is the one that you need to lower.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, you want to leave them both at about a quarter of the way. You don't need to
Okay.
turn them all the way up, down, and I'll make sure that the sound is turned down on the track itself.
Thank you guys, appreciate that. Let's see what spells I have right now, if I can do anything. Let's cast... I'm gonna cast Bless on everyone, since, you know, let's go ahead and do that. And I'll cast that centered on...
You choose
Okay.
3 people.
Choose 3 targets, yeah.
All right. Well, then I will get Kaylin so she can be hit with some, and because she's right in the front door. I'll hit Chris, so she can have some bless, and then who is the last person that's close? That is Tian. All right, because you have Tian, because Ramari's back here with me. All right, then Tian. Wait a minute. I don't see your thing on Discord, so I don't know what your pronoun is. Damn it.
I am she, they.
Oh, Jay. Okay, so it is. I thought you'd be your. Okay, gotcha. All right. So yes. All right. So
If it's easier, go by the character's pronouns overall.
Yeah, that's absolutely valid.
I just don't want to mess up and look like a jackass. So
You're asking the questions and you're trying. That's what's important, Tony.
Yeah.
So I will cast those 3, and then I will head back here with Rumari, so we can, I guess, be ready to run and tell the story of our party's death.
All right, with that, you guys all rolled high enough to do this. Chris, it is on you. You see the wolf snarling at you, ready to lunge, and you see 2 more.
I'm going to back up and close the door.
Okay.
How long does bless last for?
1
It
minute.
lasts for a minute. Just
Okay.
6 rounds.
That's 10 rounds.
Or 10 rounds, sorry.
You still have an
6 seconds
action, a bonus action, and the rest of your movement.
Ooh. I'm gonna say we're not here to intrude. I'm gonna try an animal handling from the other side of the door.
Go ahead and give me an animal handling with disadvantage. Since you're
But
doing
wait a minute,
this
I
from the
blessed
other
her.
side
I
of the door.
blessed her. So does she get a plus like 4 to her
You
skills
also
checks?
get to add an additional D4 to your roll.
Yep, because
So
you're
on the
blessed.
bottom underneath the chat box, just hit the D4 and add that.
Well, I already rolled them, so it's the 7
Oh,
plus.
I see it up here. Yeah, I see. I only see the 7,
so
and there's the D4 up. So you sort of take on that softer tone, trying to take on a soothing tone to try to calm down the animals on the other side of the door. Unfortunately, you do not know their reaction behind a closed door. Will that be all, Chris?
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
Tian.
All right. So, are the wolves doing any, like, are they making any noise from the other side of the door?
Not that you hear, no.
All right. And the door is not being messed with at the moment. Right?
No, it has just been closed by Chris.
Why haven't they done anything yet? That's what I want to know.
Low in it.
Yeah. I'll hold an attack with the sword until something either breaks through the door or just attacks in general.
Okay. And we end the round with Rumari.
I'm going to take one of my daggers in hand and get ready to throw it if anything crazy comes out of the door looking hostile.
All right, so we currently have Kaylin, Tian, and Rumari all with held actions, and it's coming back to Kaylin now. What do you do?
Kaylin's
Kaylin?
gonna pause and be like, are you sure you saw wolves? She's gonna try to press her head against the door and see if she can hear anything.
Go ahead, give me a perception check, Kaylin.
It's not working. Hold on.
Would you like me to roll it for you just so I have it on?
She's got it.
Oh, it was lagging out.
Yeah.
It's been doing that to me.
Okay, with that roll,
Oh,
good
I
one.
should
You
roll
put
that
your ear to the
public.
door. You actually don't get to see what those rolls are, guys.
Okay.
But I do. And you rolled well. And you don't hear anything coming from the other side of the door.
Okay. If I still have enough actions in my turn, can I try to peek through the door? Like just slowly open it and look through?
You absolutely can. And as you do so, you look to where that wolf was. And you notice that it is sitting, like, sitting on its haunches with its head held back as if it's in mid-howl.
Is there any noise?
But then I don't hear anything?
No.
Is there any light in the room?
Yes, there is light coming from the room. And as you're sort of looking, you notice that none of the wolves are moving.
Okay. Then I'll open the door further to just get a better look at them all.
All right. And you notice one of them is standing on all fours, head sort of tilted to the side, and the other one you notice is standing there, but it looks like it's mid-step. And as you sort of look into the room, you notice that this room is also, like the others, oak paneled, and it looks like a hunter's den. Mounted above the fireplace is a stag's head, and positioned around the outskirts of the room are 3 wolves. 2 padded chairs draped in animal furs face the hearth, with an oak table between them supporting a cask of wine, 2 carved wooden goblets, a pipe rack, and a candelabrum. A chandelier above hangs above a cloth-covered table surrounded by 4 chairs. 2 cabinets stand against the walls. The east cabinet, as you sort of peek your head around, you notice there is a heavy lock on the doors.
Keelan will say to everyone else, they're not moving. And then she'll take a step inside.
And as you look back, you say that to them, you turn back around, and you notice the wolf that was howling is now mid-step, as the other 2 were sort of curled up on the ground.
This is terrifying.
They're weeping wolves.
Kaylin's gonna stop and be like, wait, I swear that one was just howling though. I assume that's probably been around 6 seconds.
Yeah, are we still in initiative or anything?
You are no longer in initiative order. Just make sure you are courteous to the other players.
Can I do a perception check?
Go ahead. What is it you're trying to perceive?
If they're breathing.
Go for it.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
They do not seem to be moving at all. And on second glance, you're thinking that any movement you thought you saw is coming from the flickering of the fireplace and the candles throughout this room that are lit.
Everybody blink at the same time, see if they move.
Is there a mirror anywhere around?
Not in the room, no. Not that you see it.
Is the shield a reflective surface, like the shield that we found?
No, it is enamel.
All right, so we have no reflective surfaces down there. Okay.
Other than the lovely eyes.
I think he said there's a bunch of candles. Is there more that were not lit? Like, can we light the room better?
I mean, I have light active, so it should be.
Oh, you do have light active as well?
Yeah, I always have it on my ring because I'm a human. I can't see in the dark.
Can't see shit.
Okay.
Well, I don't think the house is particularly dark. There's lots of light in the house.
Yeah, there's light sources all over. Like, there's shadows, but nothing is in absolute darkness that you've come across.
Maybe we could throw one of the logs in there.
And you do see that though the candelabras are all lit, you do see there are a few candles around the room that are currently unlit.
I'm gonna take a step into the room.
Okay. And as you do, you notice that this room is much warmer than the room you were just in.
Oh, great.
Oh, good. I was cold.
You see windows on the far eastern wall. They are open. And as you look out them from where you are, you notice all you can see is a wall of thick, roiling fog, similar to the wall of fog you saw while you were on the road to the Svalich Wood.
Interesting.
Mm.
I'm gonna relay that to everyone. I see some fog outside. It's quite heavy.
There's more fog.
Seems it's been like that since we got here, seems. So if the wolves aren't moving, Tian's gonna step in and take a look at the room with Chris.
Okay. And what are the rest of you doing at this point? Rumari, Abraham, Haley.
That's interesting.
Caitlin's gonna follow.
The old.
And Caitlin's gonna be intently staring at the one that she swears she thought was howling.
You can see if it moves.
I'm gonna.
If I was gonna say, if you want to move me in front of whichever one that is, you can go ahead and do that. But she's gonna be staring at it.
That would be this one here.
Got it.
It's like you guys are all paranoid and freaked out for some reason.
Door slamming behind us would do that to a person.
And also, wolves chasing you literally into the
Exactly.
house would do that to a person.
To be fair,
This
the
is
wolves
also-
chased you out of the woods. They did not follow you outside of the woods.
But also, we're playing Curse of Strahd.
Yeah.
Yes, but your characters are not.
So these two cabinet. You said these were cabinets over here, right? At the top.
Yes.
Are they locked up or just kinda...
One of them is locked. The other one does not seem to have a lock on it. The eastern one has a heavy lock. The one that you're in front of, Chris.
Okay.
So the wolves. If the wolves aren't moving, I'm going to get as close as I can and then try to investigate to see if I notice anything peculiar with these wolves. I know it's a chance, but it's a chance we have to take to see if we can find out what's going on here and who's brought us in.
Okay.
So I kind of go into the room, and I guess I get wherever I kind of get close to the wolves, close enough that I can see them, but not close enough that I'm, ooh, I don't want to be there. That's too close. All right, I'm going to go right there. Here, let me go ahead and investigate them. What should I
Go ahead
roll?
and give me an investigation.
Investigate, okay. Oh,
They seem
yay!
to be taxidermed.
Oh.
Actually, getting a close look at one of them in the light, you notice underneath the front left leg, you can actually see some of the stitching has come away, and you can see the batting sticking out from the fur.
I fear we've been concerned for no reason. These wolves are not wolves at all. They're actually taxidermists. Apparently, whoever owns this home has a peculiar interest in hunting.
Tian's gonna make his way over to the cabinet that isn't locked. Do I have to push over the wolf that's right there?
No, you can move right past it. It doesn't take up the
Okay.
entire space.
Alright. Gonna
The
open
cabinet
it
to the north, the cabinet to the northwest, or as you open it,
Yeah.
you see there's a small box in the center of the shelving, and lining the inner walls, you see an assortment of mismatched wine glass sets. On the main area next to the small box, you see a small rack that looks like it used to be a wine bottle holder that would hold about 3 bottles of wine, but it sits empty.
That's sad. Anything else, or is it just the wine in the glasses?
The wine holder, the glasses,
Well,
and a
yeah,
small wooden box.
Okay.
Chris is gonna walk over to this plush leather chair and just go and see how comfortable it is, just to rest her feet.
You're now cursed.
You sit down in the chair, and it's a high armchair. And as you lay back, the wolf pelt fur that's lining the back of it sort of tickles the back of your neck. And you put your feet up onto an ottoman in front of the fireplace that is going. The chair is not the most comfortable that you've been in, but it is more than reasonable enough to fall asleep in this chair if you sat here long enough. It is comfortable, though it is not as plush as some that you've sat in.
You know what? Well, as Chris lays in that chair and snuggles against the warm wolf fur, she has the idea that she's got dressing for the desert. This is terrible. So she's going to take the wolf furs and just like hold on to them to use them as like a shawl.
Okay. You pick one up. It's a little bit heavy. Go ahead and add an item to your character sheet. Label it as a wolf pelt and put the weight at about 4 pounds.
Okay.
It will work the same way that a heavy cloak would work in inclement weather.
Okay.
Not perfect, but in a pinch, it will do. Rumari, I see you're still by the door at this point. What are you doing?
Rumari is just kind of posted up, looking outside of the room into the hallway. Just kind of.
Yeah, you see the other doors. The fire is sort of shimmering off of the marble flooring that you're looking at. You see the light reflected off of the stack of like firewood, the fire poker, the shovel, the brush, the long sword hanging above the mantelpiece. But the one thing that keeps catching your eye as you look back and forth, you notice that the marble flooring, you keep looking over to the red area of the staircase. And after a moment or two, you realize it's not carpet. The marble itself is red. You've never seen a home designed with such eccentricity and surplus to actually have not only 2 different kinds of marble in the home, but to have it carved so precisely as to fit the floor pattern in the way that it does. You've never met anyone so extra.
Oh, I met my mother.
Aside from me, right?
Yeah.
Certainly hasn't met Tian's mother.
That's fair.
I kind of want to keep most of my attention on the door that I heard sounds of people on the other side of. Is there any like light or anything coming from under that door?
With your keen vision, you look, and there seems to be the reflection of light coming from that room. Yes.
Well, Tian's gonna come back towards the door and just say, "Well, there's no stairs leading down. There's no stairs leading down, so this room probably isn't what we're after at the moment."
Yeah. Other than what you found here, which is the box, the wine glasses, the wolves, and the wolf pelt, there are some candles. There is a wine cask on the table between the 2 armchairs in front of the fire, and there is the large locked cabinet on the other side of the room.
Well, Keelan will poke the wolf one last time and follow Tien towards the doorway.
Poking the wolf.
Okay.
She's gonna.
And as you do, it just sort of
something.
like, so this is the one that's still positioned howling. As you do, it sort of just topples up against the wall, head just leaning against the wall.
She's gonna mumble something about, "I don't understand why someone would do this."
Perhaps they have an interest in hunting what they consider lesser species. It is a barbaric tradition. used by royals and effeminate elites.
Effeminate elites.
Chris is going to give a side eye about all of this conversation.
And Kaylin will respond, "Sure, I understand hunting for sport, but why would you keep them around?"
It's the Pastor Mari.
As Tien walks past, Rumari points out towards the westernmost door around the corner and say, I heard people behind that door. I don't know if we want to avoid them. It sounded strange.
Can I see the light from under the door as well?
Yes,
Okay. You heard people.
you can.
Talking, drinking. More than one voice, I think.
Did you say that loud enough for other people to hear, or just to TM?
Just a Tien as he walked past, but not like trying to like whisper or anything.
Yeah. We could avoid that for now. It definitely seems like something we aren't here for.
Strange
Especially
that in a
Kaylin's
house
gonna walk.
with a monster in it.
Exactly. That somebody would be conversing and enjoying themselves. Definitely don't want to go upstairs yet. I don't want to go upstairs at all at this point right now.
We may have no
Upstairs is the
choice.
exact opposite direction of where they said the monster was.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
But it is in the direction where they said their little brother was.
Yeah, and if we go to get the brother and then we go to fight the monster, then we just have a baby in the way.
Escort mission!
The worst kind of mission.
Well, we have no choice but to move forward. I see. I vote we go up the stairs.
I want to check one of these doors, this one that I'm right in front of, to see if, same thing, open it a little bit, see if there's stairs on the other side.
Oh, I didn't know there was another door. My bad.
There's two right in front of us.
There's
can't-
three
Alright,
of them.
before you do that,
Well, there's the
Chris,
Yes.
are you still in the armchair?
Oh, yes. I'm enjoying
Please
it.
give me a constitution save.
Oh, yes. I love it. Love a good con save.
Oh, chair must be trapped.
The chair is
Cursed.
trapped.
This chair is cursed.
It's a curse.
You roll so lovely on your con saves. That is beautiful to see.
You
That
know,
will serve you well later.
Yeah. She's nothing else if not hardy.
The room is extremely comfortable. The fire wafting over you, the wolf pelt over your shoulder, the cat purring against your neck. You could fall asleep here happily.
Very nice, very nice. I'm just curious to know, do I feel any sort of movement in the room now that I'm alone?
No.
With any perception check, perhaps? I'd like to take a listen.
You may.
Delightful. Let's do a perception. Oof. I'm very perceptive, let me tell you.
Yeah. You do hear, other than the little bit of mumbling of your party outside in the hallway, you do hear the sound of creaking wood as the door to the room you're in closes.
Oh, goodness. That would startle me quite a bit.
No, it doesn't slam, it just slowly
Oh,
creaks to a click, similar to the door in the main entryway.
Like it's on springs, kind of thing.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's sort of like on a hinge that, like an automatically closing hinge.
Perhaps before we move forward, we should get our other member. Check
I
on
will-
Chris.
I'm not a fan of there being a closed door between me and people who are supposed to stand between me and death. So I'm going to get up.
Good point.
Whoa, I
Okay.
did not elect to be a person that stands between you and death.
Everyone elects to be a person that stands between
Likewise.
me and death. Whether you know it or not, you are standing between me and death.
You get up and start moving towards the door.
Yes.
With your perception check, as you sort of get up and you turn around, You notice all three of the wolves are just looking at you. Their heads are all turned to face you.
Goodness. I'm going to say, thank you for letting me rest in your lovely chair. It's been great. I'm gonna go, and I'm just gonna kind of be like, it's fine. I'm leaving. I'm not gonna disturb anything as I back out of the
And the
room.
wolves say nothing.
Oh my god! I thought they were about to actually talk. I was like, whoa, shit!
Go ahead and open the door.
It won't let me.
Yeah. Chris, you try to push on the door, and it's not moving. The rest of you in the hall hear the sound of the door, like jingling in the hinges, like in its frame, shaking, as you hear the sound of someone on the other side trying to open it.
I'm gonna point in the direction of the other side of the door, and I'm gonna use message, and I'm gonna say at Kaylin, I'm gonna say, Kaylin, the door is locked. Please help. I'm in here with the wolves, and they're moving.
Hold on one moment.
Well, this isn't gonna be good, man. None of this is good. Rich, you're a horrible
Kaylin.
person.
Kaylin, you do not hear anything.
Okay, but I heard the door jiggle.
Yes, but you do not hear anything in your head. Chris, you do hear a voice respond. Don't worry. You will be here for quite some time.
I'm gonna start screaming.
You all hear screaming from the other side of the door.
Oh shit!
Kaylin's
No!
gonna try to
Son-
open the door.
At that
Chris!
point, I'm gonna run right over to the door.
Chris!
Go ahead and open the door.
I look
You
like
see Chris
I'm
standing there screaming, her face
white.
pale.
Kaylin's gonna go, what? What's going on? And
What's
she's gonna
wrong?
look in and then look at the wolves. Specifically the one she poked and fell over against the wall.
It's still leaning against the wall, but you notice they all sort of turn their heads towards where the chairs are.
They were all looking at me, and then they locked me in the room, and someone. I tried to send a message to Kaylin using my magic, and someone else responded.
Someone else. What did they sound like?
I don't know, a person.
Kaylin's gonna grab Chris and pull her through the door. Don't know if
Okay.
she's gonna
I'm
resist
guessing
or
Chris
not.
isn't going to resist at this point.
And then shut the door behind her.
Okay.
All right. Wait, before they shut the door, and before we leave, the old man kind of goes in there, takes out his sword, and tries to chop the head off one of these wolves that looked at her.
Well,
All right.
Kaylin's gonna do it in one swift motion of like one hand on the door, one hand pulling Chris through and shutting it. So if you
Oh,
want to,
okay,
you're gonna
okay.
have to reopen the door.
All right, well, don't
Yeah,
worry
you can
about that.
reopen the door.
No,
I mean, you can reopen
no,
the door if you want to.
no, that's okay. I'm just gonna go out with everybody else. I'll be cool. I'll do cool stuff
Tony
later.
wanted an excuse to pull out his sword.
I
Just
just
wanted to
wanted.
wave his big sword around.
I mean, he can still pull out his sword and wave
No.
it around. He just needs to put a little bit extra effort into it.
No, I'm not
Yeah.
going in there by myself. That's okay.
So, before Lady Chrysadar screams, Tion, you were going over to this other door here.
Yeah. This one that I'm
And
right
what
in
is it
front
you
of.
wanted to do?
I wanted to do the same thing, just open it a little bit, like just a few inches, to see if there's anything on the other side, or if I can see stairs.
Okay, as you sort of just poke it open a little bit, all you see is a continuation of this marble and another oak paneled wall. It seems to be opening up into a short hallway of sorts. You've only opened it an inch or two, so you can't
Yeah.
really see far into the room.
If there's no immediate danger, then I'll push it open a little bit more.
And
I'd
as
say
you
about-
push the door
yeah.
open, you see that the room you're looking into actually seems to be a dining room.
Shit, everything just refreshed really quick. But
The
yeah,
centerpiece of this wood-paneled room is a carved mahogany table surrounded by 8 high-backed chairs with sculpted armrests and cushioned seats. A crystal chandelier hangs above the table, which is covered with resplendent silverware and crystalware polished to a dazzling shine. A feast lines this table, all different meats and cheeses, multiple types of breads and fruits. Smells fill this room that are both familiar and strange to you all at once. You smell food from your various childhoods, as well as there are dishes that you've never seen before. And mounted above the marble fireplace is a mahogany framed painting of an alpine vale. The wall paneling of this room, the wall that you were first looking at, you notice it is carved with elegant images of deer among the trees. And the red silk drapes cover the windows on the far end. And as you look a bit further off to the right, you see that there is an elaborate tapestry depicting hunting dogs and horse-mounted aristocrats chasing after a wolf.
Can I go do a history check on the tapestry?
You absolutely may.
I'm going to take a look at this tapestry. Many times, tapestries have been known to be the basic history of a family's lineage. Perhaps it can give us some
The
information.
tapestry is over here, so you're going to have to move into the room and move towards where I'm pointing at.
I will wait till somebody else goes first.
I'll step in, but I'll hold the door open because I know what just happened to Chris. So if anybody wants to go in.
Maybe we should keep using logs to hold open the doors. This stops the doors from closing.
Maybe.
Nothing's stopping you.
I suggest we use another log to keep the door open. I will support it, and I grab a log and kind of like put it in the spot so the door can't close.
Okay. And after letting it, putting that in place and testing it for a moment, you notice the door swings back to the log and stops.
Okay. So there's a painting right on the right above the fireplace.
Yes, of a beautiful alpine vale.
All right.
Does it?
And the tapestry hangs on the wall opposite.
So does the painting look like the Svaldic wood or anything like that?
No. There are woods, but it's primarily focused on a large rocky mountain face that is snow-covered, overlooking the woods.
Okay, so nothing that I've seen yet.
No.
Okay.
Nothing that you have seen yet.
Kaylin's gonna inspect the feast, and I just realized we still have the blessed symbol. That's probably gone by now, huh?
At this point, yes, the bless will be gone.
I was gonna say, Kaylin's gonna look at the food and just stare at it, and she's like, "Who's all this food for? I'm starving. We haven't even eaten since we woke up."
Don't eat anything.
As you're up on the table and you're looking at it, it looks freshly prepared. Everything looks fresh. It smells wonderful, and you notice that your stomach is a little tight and your mouth is watering.
Don't! I turn around from the tapestry. Wait! We've already seen what's happened before. Don't eat it.
It's not wise to eat food that wasn't prepared in front of us.
Well, I understand that. It's just, I wonder who it's for, because it just smells so good.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Damn.
Nat 20 on that history
Yeah.
check.
Looking over the tapestry, it's well made and it would probably fetch a pretty penny on the right market. Based on the stylings, this thing is probably a couple 100 years old. And the depiction that you're seeing is simply that. It's a hunting party of aristocrats that are hunting down wolves. And as Abraham had said earlier, from what you're telling, what you can see, it does. It looks like one of those just aristocratic families that are memorializing some great hunt that they had went on at some point or another. but none of the faces, none of the figures hold any resemblance or likeness to anyone that you've known.
Wait.
Rumari, I see you move into the room.
Yeah, Mari comes in and has a thought, and I want to open these doors over here.
Go
I
ahead
was just thinking that
and
too.
open the door. And Chris, are you still in the room or are you still in the hall?
Oh, I'm still in the hall, just kind of trying to calm myself down after being shut in that room.
Almost eaten by a chick.
And you're sort of looking around and you realize not having anything to protect yourself with is really putting you on edge. And your eyes keep going back to the logs, the fire pokers, and the longsword above the fireplace. Rumari, as you open the door, it seems to open back up into the main hall.
I turn around and I say, "This is the room that I heard people in."
As soon as Rumari says, Etienne's gonna look around and be like, "But you heard people."
Maybe they left.
What,
only
out the
door-
windows?
Yeah, the only ways in and out are these doors.
I think we should not stay here.
Yeah, I agree. And Etienne's gonna head right to the door.
Perhaps we should also look at those weapons, the pokers, and the longsword. From what we've already encountered, it looks as if this place is not somewhere safe. We're going to need whatever we can. Hopefully, nothing will happen, but we will need to defend ourselves, if necessary.
You also notice there's another set of fire pokers and cleaning implements in front of this fireplace as well.
Can I grab one?
Chris would
You
like
absolutely
to
can, Abraham.
check out that longsword above the fireplace.
Can Chris use longswords?
An expertly built longsword, and there is a windmill-shaped cameo built into the hilt.
I don't think I can use longswords either.
Nope,
All
she
right,
sure can't use them, but she just feels like she needs to have something.
Well,
I mean,
you can use a
she can
longsword, you
magic.
just do not get to add your proficiency bonus to the attack roll.
Yeah.
She can use it, she just won't be very good at it.
Yeah, that's what I meant, yeah.
Is Tien gonna move outside?
Well, I'm gonna stand by the door and wait for Abraham. Oh, is Abraham going out the other door?
I'm right behind Rumari.
Okay, then
I'm
yeah.
following
go ahead
him.
out. And I'll snatch the log that we put in the door as I leave.
You can move around me if you want. I do want to listen at this other door again, though.
Understandable.
And Abraham, I'm adding a fire poker to your character sheet. Actually, get rid of the sickle because I misclicked that.
No, you can leave that.
Well, no, the sickle I misclicked.
Yeah, I know. It's
You have
saying
the
you can leave
spear,
it. It's
though,
okay.
which is actually... The fire poker is going to be using the spear's details, except that it is at -1 for the damage. That is all.
How
So
many
instead of
the
doing
fire...
1d8 plus mod, it's 1d8 plus mod -1.
How many of the fire pokers and everything are there per
You found
fireplace?
one in front of each fireplace.
Okay. Just wanted to.
I would like to
And they
take
also do not have a
sword.
range. They are melee.
DM, I would like to take the sword.
Okay. You take the long sword off of the rack holding it above the fireplace.
Mm-hmm. Does
And
anything
you now
happen?
have a long sword.
Okay.
I will go ahead and
Caitlin?
add that to your character.
Which just leaves this little room right in front of us.
Kaylin's gonna make a comment and be like, we shouldn't be taking stuff that isn't ours.
If we're going to fight a monster in the basement, we're going to need something to attack with. I'm sure whoever is in here also fighting the monster, if there really is one, wouldn't mind us stocking up as long as we return it when we're all done.
There's a lot of fire around here. We should consider trying to burn whatever's there after we get the child and whatever we save who's ever down there and burning it to the ground rather than have to fight that thing. Let the cleansing power and fire and the brightness of the thunder send it back to the abyss.
Like he said, I don't know if you know. Tan's sitting there like, fire. Yes, good.
Chris can also make fire.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Kaylin will try to listen against this door to
Yeah.
see if she hears any clinking of silverware or anything.
You hear nothing coming from the other side of the door now.
This is the last door in this area, so there might be stairs of some kind on the other side.
There's another door up here too.
There is?
Mm-hmm.
Where?
Abraham
It's
is standing
around-
directly in front of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's
That was
just-
I
why I
didn't
was
see that
staying
one.
over there.
I didn't see that one.
Well, Kaylin will say, I don't hear anything on this door, but I'm not sure where we're going. Are we supposed to be going up or down?
Down.
We're trying to go down, and then afterwards, if we're still alive, we can go up to see if there's the child, see where the child is.
Do these doors have like funky little keyholes that I can look through?
They do not.
Damn. Well,
Chris is going to take the opportunity after Kaylin's done listening at the door to try a message again.
Okay, who are you trying to message?
Kaylin.
Okay, what do you say?
I'm going to say, I'm just going to test this real quick to see if this works. And she's going to hear the voice in her head, I assume?
Kaylee, you hear Chris speaking to you in your head again.
She's going to turn to Chris and say, test what? I don't know what you're talking about.
Do I hear her response in my head?
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. And I'm just going to say out loud, I just wanted to see if I would hear that strange voice again.
I fear whatever
Kalen's
you...
gonna
Oh, go ahead.
As I say, Kaylin's going to respond and say, I haven't heard any strange voices, nor any clinking of plates. And then you guys thought there was wolves in there. I mean, they're creepy, but...
But there were wolves.
There
Well-
were wolves, and they turned to look at me while I was sitting in the chair when you all left, and the door was closed, and I was locked in there with wolves. Chris begins to panic a little.
Tian's gonna go over, put his hand on on Chris's shoulder, and say, "Are you okay?"
Well, you could have came out with us. You didn't have to stay in there.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize you all had left. I just closed my eyes for a second, then I was alone in a closed door with a bunch of wolves staring at me.
Just stay close. We don't want anything bad to happen, especially in
This place...
this place.
This place is a dark evil. If she's voices, wolves that are dead coming to life, whatever's here is playing a game with us, and I fear a deadly one at that. Keep your guards up, and keep your arms to the thunder. May his light guide us.
Amen.
So he's the aggressive religious mom figure.
We figured out we're slowly figuring out who's who in the party.
We all know what Tian is. Tian's gonna do the same thing with this last door that he sees, and he's gonna go over to one next to Rumari. Just slowly
Alright.
open it.
This one, as you go to open it, you're used to the heavy wood of the other doors. This one's actually quite a bit lighter, and it swings open easily. Which in and of itself is a little bit startling.
Mm-hmm.
But as it opens, you see a small 6-foot closet. It's a small cloakroom, and there are several black cloaks hanging from hooks on the walls. And as you look up, you see there's a high shelf with a couple of small boxes and a top hat sitting there.
Okay. I'll use my foot to like prop the door open, and I'll see if I can like grab one of the boxes.
You can do it very easily as you pull it down. You open it up, and inside the box, you just see what looks like a small, almost like a child's beret, like a cloth hat.
All right. So there's nothing useful in here. So I'm just gonna put the box back and close the door behind me.
Okay.
So that just
What did you
leaves
see?
one door. Nothing, just cloaks and hats.
Ooh, cloaks, she says as she wants to go look through them.
They aren't ours. And it's quite warm inside at the moment. And that's it for that.
Okay.
Fuck, there he is.
I didn't hear anything from this northern door before, did I? When I listened
No.
there.
Quiet.
My dog's going insane. So it seems there's only one door left to see if we can go downstairs. Should we try it?
Might as well. Shall I?
There's
Or do you
no.
want to?
No
Uh,
other
That's where we're
option.
supposed to go. I'm
Up
just
to
getting
you.
bored.
Any light from under this door?
Yes. Just as before, a slow flickering light.
I will take Tien's lead and push it open just a little bit as quietly as I can to look inside.
As you open this one up, another round of heat hits you. And you see, as you start slowly opening, you see a large cook stove, like a large fireplace with cooking racks and hooks hanging from it. This seems to be a kitchen. As you slowly open the door.
Rumari looks a little disappointed and looks at Tien and thinks, it's the kitchen.
It's tidy. You see work tables
stairs?
stacked with cutting boards and rolling pins. There's a dome-shaped oven near the east wall that is cold currently. There's a bent iron stovepipe connected to a hole in the ceiling. You see there's a thin walkway, there's a door frame where there used to be a door that seems to lead into what looks to be a pantry. And there also seems to be a small wooden door about 2 feet by 2 feet in the western wall, in this corner up here.
Eastern.
Eastern, sorry.
No, it's fine. I'm just talking to
I
I do
myself.
that all the time.
It takes me forever to figure out east from west.
I want to crouch and listen by it.
You put your ear to it. You don't hear anything. It is quiet.
Kaylin's gonna say, "Oh, a kitchen? Is there anything we can eat in here?"
Chris agrees,
And-
she follows in.
As Tion wanders into the back area, you notice
Poking
it's a
his head around.
pantry.
Yeah.
You
Kaylin,
see root vegetables, potatoes, turnips. You see some carrots, some grains, some beans. What looks like some cured meats on the hanging from racks. Different herbs and vegetables. It's well stocked.
Nothing out of the ordinary.
No. The strangest thing you see would probably be a small glass jar that seems to be filled with wolves' tongues.
No. Taylor will say nothing really out of the ordinary except for a jar of wolves' tongues.
And you know that they were wolves' tongues because there was a label along the bottom of the jar that simply stated wolves' tongues.
a label for because when you have a kitchen full of wolves' tongues, you're definitely gonna obviously mistake that for other stuff. What the hell is going on in this guy's kitchen when you have to label your wolf tongue?
I honestly
Rumari
would
looks
rather
intrigued.
not.
That's fun.
Well, Tion's eyes were drawn to that, but the things that were next to it that seemed pretty normal were cow tongue, pig tongue, sheep tongue. Next to it, the one that caught his eye was wolf's tongue.
That is
Wolf
good.
tongues.
That is good. This place looks strange, and I've noticed that it's full of food. And this place around this area, even a noble wouldn't be so well stocked. I'm going to check this food to see what's wrong with it. And if it's safe, we'll perhaps carry some of it with us, but we'll test it before we eat it ourselves.
If there's
Good idea.
someone
Wow.
here, we should probably ask permission.
Yes, exactly.
If
we
we
need to find
save
whoever
them-
lives here so we can see if they can.
Permission
share
for
some
what?
food with us.
They've trapped us here, tried to kill our friend. We've heard voices, wolves that moved. I'm going to take a goddamn potato.
It may not be. It may not be the
Abraham
owners that
gained
said
inspiration.
Hey! I'm gonna roll a nature check on the food, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
If we
Okay.
save them from the monster in here, they might just
Ooh.
give us food.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna know anything about
Exactly.
this food.
You pick it up. Brownish red in color. Multiple dozens of eyes. About fist size. Yeah, it's a potato.
Well,
It's a beholder.
Forgot potatoes have eyes.
beholder potato. No, the potato looks normal enough, although it's sprouting quite many roots already. I still would not advise eating it first. We will test it.
Potato.
Oh, I will.
Rumari, is there anything odd about what you're inspecting over there?
I cannot hear anything. It's a weirdly small door. I want to try to open it.
The
It's
door
like a-
slides up easily.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask, like whether it's like a door, like a hatch.
Yeah. As it does, you see there is a small little box inside of this area, about 2 feet on each side, and it's hanging a little bit lower than the opening, and you can see what looks to be a rope and pulley system on the top of it. This looks to be some sort of dumbwaiter system for transport of food through the different floors.
I will show the others. Not a way to get down unless we are very small.
Extremely small.
Ooh.
Tien's
I
just
could send my cat down.
The cat, as you say that, sort of just meows, and you notice it digs its claws in a little bit deeper on your shoulder.
or maybe not.
so there's no door downstairs, is there? That we've seen yet.
Correct?
There's
Oh.
only the one set of doors in the foyer that led out here.
Hmm.
Is that a set
Perhaps-
of doors in the hunt room or in the hunting room?
Perhaps there's some
Not
sort
that
of
you
hidden
saw.
door somewhere.
Okay.
You did. The only thing in the hunting room that you noticed that was out of sorts that you did not investigate was the locked cabinet. Other than
Yeah.
that, you
But that
feel that
wouldn't
you've
be-
made a fairly thorough search, other than like looking underneath the dining room table or ripping all the cloaks off of the wall in the cloakroom.
Chris
Yeah, I
is
just feel that'd be
going.
rude.
Chris is going to say, perhaps it's something that's a hidden room. I mean, if there's a monster down there, they wouldn't want the children to get there. So maybe we should take the time to investigate the walls a little more.
Perhaps there's nothing wrong with being careful. What's already happened here, I think prudence is never the wrong course of action.
I call the pantry. And she starts walking off to the pantry.
Go ahead. Go into the pantry. Who's going to go where else?
I don't
That-
think we should split off too far.
No, I just wanted to go back outside and I wanted to look around the staircase since I noticed the floor so intently earlier.
Kaylin's gonna do the same and see if there's any way that the staircase leads down instead of up.
Okay, so you sort of start walking around the marble case, looking around. As you move towards the center of it, you look up, and you can see up a full 70 feet. Well, until your vision gives away, but it goes up about 60, 70 feet before it just is engulfed in darkness. And yeah, this spiral staircase goes up and up and up. Both Chris both Kaylin and Rumari can give me investigation checks to see if you can find a secret entrance.
Oh, it's investigation, not perception?
It is investigation.
Oh, I rolled the wrong thing. Sorry.
Since I know
okay.
that Abraham and Chris are staying in the kitchen, or I'll slip a log in the doorway so that it doesn't close on them.
Awesome.
I'm going to go ahead and
come over here.
I'm just going to just investigate. I'm trying to think what else was in this kitchen that I could take a look at. I don't think there's anything else in here. She got the pantry.
You didn't look at the wolf's tongues?
I'm looking at the wolf's tongue.
That's I go over there and yeah, she's right. I take a look at the wolf's tongue and I'm gonna try to get an idea of what a person would use these ingredients for, like to give us an idea of what type of person lives in this house. So I guess investigation or
give me a
okay.
Give me a nature check.
Nature, okay.
Yeah, give me a nature check. Meanwhile, Kaylin, Chris, and Rumari, you're looking around. You don't notice anything out of the ordinary. Everything seems to be on the up and up. The floor is absolutely solid around the staircase. There doesn't seem to be any hidden hatches of any sort. The pantry itself is well stocked. And Chris, your sort of curious nature gets the better of you, and you see one of the shelves has like some walnuts and almonds and things like that on them. You can't help yourself but taking one, just popping it in your mouth as you're walking. And as you chew it, it just tastes sort of bland. Like it doesn't have that nutty quality that you're expecting. Like the flesh itself is sort of soft and chewy. It doesn't have like that crunch or bite to it. It just is sort of soft and mushy.
Interesting.
Yeah, nothing here seems off and out of place. Abraham, as you're looking at the wolf's tongues and everything else, you try to think, and you're like, well, I mean, the tongue is a heavy muscle. It's probably good for stews. It's probably good for this or that. And you remember reading about the one strange traveler that you met in your days, a man who you regretfully bought a drink at a tavern in the Dalelands as he was passing through, who claimed to be a famous author. Some Volo individual was telling you about this strange culture down in the jungle of Colt that like to use meats for their meals, where they would chop the meats up with different vegetables and spices and wrap them in corn flour breading. And it just sounded very strange to you, and the man talked way too much, and you immediately regretted the drink that you bought him for his company. But other than that, you can't really think of anything strange that the tongues would be used for other than stews.
And I learned all this on a roll of 2. Oh, hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would also like to take... What is this right here that I'm standing in front of? Is it like a marble statue or a pillar?
It is a pillar, yes. Yeah, directly under the staircase, those are marble pillars that are holding it up.
Okay. I'd also try to look for... I also like to look for any hidden entrances or switches, anything.
Give me an investigation.
Fuck is that? Where'd my skills and everything go? Oh, it all disappeared. What? Where... The drop-down menu for all like the spells and skills and everything. Weird.
Click off your character and come back. Sometimes that one errors out. It's still an alpha build for that module.
Okay. Come on. Maybe just my computer.
And once we reach the next section, we are going to take a break, so it'll probably be in the next couple of minutes.
It's not letting me not click
loading?
on him. Everything's like flickering like it's probably supposed to, but I can't like click off of him. I can't deselect him.
Hit the escape key.
Okay. And then click on him again?
Yep, double click. Because he's not loading for me either, which is strange.
There it is. Yeah. It brought it up, but it's like all clear. And... Yeah. Inventory features.
Kaylin will ask the group, it's like, so if there's supposed to be a basement in this place, how would we get into it? Is there an exit, or is there an entrance on the outside somewhere?
Bring up skills.
We didn't really get a chance to look.
Okay, wait.
Maybe we can see if we look out the windows in the dining room?
You said investigation, right?
Yes. If it's not rolling, just go ahead and roll a d20. Oh, there it goes.
It was all fog outside, wasn't it?
Okay.
It seems to be a regular pillar, no switches of any sort.
Okay.
Yeah, Kaylin asked about how to get into the basement. Rumari mentioned that there is fog outside of the windows, and yes, one of you, when you were in the dining room, did push one of the curtains aside and noticed that that same wall of fog seems to be up against the glass of all these windows as well.
Kaylin will still go into the dining room and try to look for herself.
By all means, it doesn't make sense.
As you go back into the room, once again, the smell of all of that food just hits you.
And she instantly regrets it.
Kaylin, cover your nose. Don't eat it.
Hungry.
Don't eat it.
Says the man holding a potato.
This potato is to be tested, thank you. Mysterious voice from God.
I look at Abraham as we're leaving the kitchen area, and I say, I tested an almond just to see, and it tasted like bland mush. It didn't taste like anything, really.
Chris,
So
why did you do that? You took a great risk.
I think I was okay. It was an almond.
Not if you have a peanut allergy, then you'd really be screwed.
You're now cursed. No. I don't know.
But it was
Tan's
an
at a loss.
almond, not a peanut.
Well,
I'm assuming Kaylin doesn't see anything outside due to the fog.
The fog is solid. It's a roiling bank of fog up against the glass. You cannot see through it or see past it.
So just to be sure...
this-
Oh, go ahead, Kaylee.
Does this window open?
You do see there is 2 latches, and you can absolutely open it.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Then Kaylin will try to open the window.
Uh-oh.
Unhooking the latches, you open the pane. And as you do,
The fog.
tendrils of fog slowly make their way along the frame of the windowsill, slowly swirling into the room. And as they do, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw. You start choking.
Oh no.
The mist sort of curling around your head and face. You breathe in. It starts choking at you.
No.
Like it starts clawing at your lungs and throat. And it is very, very, very hard to breathe. You are... It is not actually letting me find what I need. There we go. Nope.
Well, whenever she gets a chance, she's gonna try to just close the window and back off and try to regroup with the party.
Absolutely.
And the bell goes off when she.
Give me one moment. I'm actually having an issue here. I will be back in like 10 seconds.
All right.
Right back.
Well, while he's gone, I'll talk to the stream. Thank you, everybody, for showing up. We do this game weekly, The Curse of Strahd, using the Foundry virtual tabletop. We also, on Mondays, we run Baldur's Gate. I run that solo, no whammies, which basically means no save scumming. So the way the dice goes, that's the way it goes. We don't reload unless we wipe. Then Thursdays is another Baldur's Gate game that's multiplayer with a few people from the group. We do that. And then on alternating Fridays and Saturdays, we run the Dwarven Forge groups that uses Dwarven Forge terrain for the Doom of Daggerdale. And you get to see the good group and the evil group, excuse me, alternating on weeks there. So basically this channel is all things Dungeons & Dragons. If you like D&D, this is the place to be. Please follow us on social media.
Sorry about that. I realized that my laptop was not plugged in. I had the plug for it, but it was not into the wall. Yeah.
Done
So,
that before.
yeah, and I realized I'm like, oh, I'm at like 6%. Well, you fix this before it's an issue. So yeah, you're able to close the window, but as you do, you just feel weak. And unfortunately, I'm going to need you to take a level of exhaustion.
Okay, how do I mark that here?
It's
On
right.
your character sheet, you'll see a little face over your character's image, I believe.
You need to reload, I think.
Okay, I need to open it and not pop out mode.
No, it's not showing for you. That's weird.
No, it's showing under death saves on the right-hand side. I'm adding it for you now.
I see it, yeah.
Because
they changed it.
There we go. Yeah, you're at one level of exhaustion, which will give your ability checks disadvantage.
Go back to attributes, and it's on the right there. Yeah, right where your cursor is, basically a little bit above. Yeah.
Yeah, so
okay,
all of your checks currently have disadvantage, unfortunately. And as you close the door, that mist sort of disperses in the heat of the room and sort of just fades away.
So she'll move back to she'll move back to the rest of the group and be like choking and coughing and be like, okay, I don't think we can go back outside. That mist is not very nice.
Kaylee, are you okay? Are you here? Come here.
And I try to hold her up, and
It's okay. I'm not. I may look old, but I'm still quite strong. Don't worry. You can lean on me.
I kind of. That's. I'll be your friend. You keep it. I'm sorry.
So, at this point, is the party going to make their way upstairs?
Yeah, Kian's at a loss to find any way downstairs, so...
Maybe
Or are you going to try to burn down the front door again?
Yeah, maybe.
If we're going...
Go ahead and start moving your characters up and around the staircase as if you were actually walking it.
I'll stay in the back to help Abraham.
Because if I set this up properly... What
wasn't here before.
All right, everyone, it's acting up. So give me a moment. Let me just activate the 4.
Oh, it's in
because
front
this
of
is what you're going to see as we take a break.
Ooh.
And then all the armor turns and looks at us.
No. We are going to pause right here, guys. Give us about. We're going to take about a 5 to 10 minute break for everyone to use the restroom, grab food, drinks, whatever it might be.
I might try to head to McDonald's.
There you go.
10 minutes? Is
I
it
can
next
try.
door?
It's right down the street.
I feel like it'd be 10 minutes to go
All
there.
right, guys. So, chat, if you have any questions for us, feel free to throw them in. We'll respond as we return, and we will be right back. I'm actually not going to leave it on this screen while we go away. Be warned, it's about to be loud, but I'm going to put us back to the intro video so you guys can sort of get an idea of what they're in for.
Tony, are you trying to speak? Because we're not hearing you.
Pretzels. Now I really want McDonald's. Can I blame
I
you?
know, right? By the time I would have gone the order through, it would have taken forever for them to get it done.
I was gonna say, like, it takes you at least 10 minutes just to go through the drive-through. Let alone
Yeah.
get there and get back and stuff.
I usually order on the app first and then, go through, but no. I do want to know how I change Tian's little token picture. Or in general, his pictures.
I think you need Rich to do it.
If you go to your character sheet, at the top, there's like
We can hear you now.
export spellbook, shape, and token. I don't know if you can. Yeah, you can update your token in there under image.
All right, just so you guys know, we are going to reload the application real quick just because people are having issues with their character sheets. So that'll take about a minute. I'm reloading the application on my end now. It should automatically refresh for all of you. That sounds about right. Give the chat a moment to catch up because there's about a 30-second delay. Yeah, that's not a problem. If you do have questions, you can always direct them to us through chat here, or you can join our Discord at any point. That's always another good way to go. We'll put a link to the Discord a little bit later. Another thing that Tony forgot to mention is that with the games that he DMs, when we hit certain benchmarks on subscribers and followers, you'll get to see Tony make an absolute ass of himself in full 1980s Dungeon Master regalia, including the robe and the wig. Not only does he wear that, he gets up and he sings and he dances to songs that the audience chooses from the 80s. Mm-hmm. I see Eldritch Author is in the chat. For those of you that are on TikTok and have followed us from there, Eldritch Author is Hugh Percival Lockross, the leader of the Dark Carnival. And you will see quite a few of his videos floating around the front page as he rockets to stardom. I believe last time I checked, he was almost at 11,000 followers and counting. Kelsey. Tony, first you got to figure out why our cameras are all frozen. Yes.
Yeah, it still shows Fox, but I put him down ages ago. I think we're moving again.
All right. Happens from time to time. Yeah, the sound was still going, it was just the cameras themselves were frozen. All right, as you all see, you are currently on the landing of the second floor. Give me one moment. I am just sending a quick message because people were asking for the link to the stream that are not currently in.
Technically, the ones that invited us were the children.
And also, how do you know that the host is male? That's quite rude. My family and society are all matriarchal, so maybe don't assume. Chris is being very holier than thou. Chris
You
is
see
just
that
being
this
holier than
room-
thou. She likes to flaunt her nobility and stuff, you know.
You see that the red marble staircase slowly lets out onto another hallway. This hallway is about 10 to 15 feet wide. You see multiple suits of armor lining the walls, multiple doors coming off of it. At the far end, you see another marble fireplace with a fire roaring hotly in its center, above which is a beautiful oil painting. And on the oil painting, you can see what looks to be a family. You see a man, a woman, and 2 children. The 2 children you recognize as the ones that were standing outside of this house. And in what you would assume is the father's arm seems to be a swaddled child that the mother is regarding with a hint of scorn on her face. The suits of armor flank wooden doors in the east and west walls, each suit of armor clutching a spear, and their visored helms are shaped like wolves' heads. The doors themselves are carved with dancing youths. And with that, we will take you to the map.
Interesting.
You see to your immediate right, there is a door. There's another set of doors at the far end of the hall, on the left and the right.
Oh, I think this is backwards because I was
Yeah, I was gonna say I think we
with
come
Abraham in the
right
back.
side, right?
Yeah, Tian
Oh,
was
yeah, you
first.
came up on the right. You're coming up on this spot right over here.
Yeah, Tian, you want to move yourself? I can't move you.
No. Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
That works.
You're the one. You're messing with it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So a door directly to our right.
There's a door directly to your right, and there is also another set of doors to the left and the right at the far end of the hall.
Okay. Door.
Tian, as you're standing there, though, you hear sobs. Like, you hear the sounds of a woman sobbing, and the muffled gasps of what sound like somebody in pain. You also have the strong coppery scent of blood.
From the door right next to me.
Yes.
I'll do what I've been doing and see if I can open the door just a few inches.
This door, as you turn the handle moves freely, but you go to move the door, it doesn't seem to budge, almost as if it is swollen in its frame.
All right. Throw my weight a little bit into the door. See if I can get it to budge at all.
And as you do so, the door actually does swing open a little bit further than you expected.
Mm-hmm.
And as it opens, you see that you're looking at an undecorated bedroom. There's a pair of beds. At the foot of each bed is an empty footlocker. You can see that they are open. And there is a small little closeted area to your left, and you can see servants' uniforms hanging from the hooks. But there's no blood. There are no bodies.
Can I still hear the sounds?
No, the sound is gone. The moment the door opened, everything went silent.
I'm thinking I'm going crazy.
This
that in
happened
character?
before.
Do you say that you think you're going crazy in character?
A little bit, yeah. Yeah. Quietly, though.
Caitlin's gonna ask Tian. It's like, Tian, what's going on? You forced that door open.
I could have sworn I heard somebody crying and smell of blood, or it on the other side. I don't know. Yeah.
And as you're looking around, you notice there's another one of those small little wooden doors on the the northeastern wall of this room, as there was in the kitchen.
Northeast.
Okay.
Wait,
Caitlin's
isn't east to the
To the right.
To the
To
right,
the right.
Okay.
here.
Oh, that just okay.
Caitlin's gonna try to smell the blood herself.
There's no smell of blood.
Interesting.
This happened before, remember? When we were downstairs with the dining room.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Wait, Caitlin, are you gonna inspect the dolly area?
No, Caitlin was
Okay.
not going over to the dumbwaiter.
Okay. So I'm just gonna take a step back out the room.
Basically, she's just kind of looking around to see if she can
Yeah.
see it. But
Yeah, you see the
No.
dumbwaiter over in the corner.
And I'll hold the door open for her, so we don't have another Chris.
she'll follow back out and kind of step into the main hall.
Okay.
Chris would like to examine these armors to see if there's anything about them, like if they're moving at all on their own. She's a little perturbed by them just standing there like that.
And as you're sort of just watching them closely, you don't see any movement. The corner of your eye keeps catching movement from them, but as you watch, you notice it's just their shadows dancing on the floor and the wall from the fireplace. You also notice on the sides of the walls here, there are unlit oil lamps that are hanging from chains.
Interesting.
You go up to one and you sort of look at it and tilt it. You can hear the sound of oil sloshing from within. Go ahead and give me a perception check. Yeah, right where you're standing is one of them, and then directly across from you is another. Perception. Because you're looking to see if there's any traps or anything dodgy about them. Yes. Yeah. You notice that they are hanging from chains. They are easily removable. On the wall around and behind them, you notice the wall is slightly discolored. But other than that, there doesn't seem to be anything wrong with them. If you had a tinderbox, you could easily light them.
Are these oil lamps hanging in a way that they can be just taken off, or are they
Yes.
like chandeliers? Okay.
Similar to a hanging plant stand, they have the little hook that you could like tilt it and pull it off.
Awesome. I would like to try to pull it off.
No, it's not hard at all. They're hanging about 5 feet off the ground. You reach up, grab it, you tilt it a little bit. You hear the liquid sloshing around from within, and you remove one of the oil lamps.
Lovely. I have this oil lamp, everybody, so if it turns out that anything happens, I can light it with my magic. If anybody needs it.
Well, firebolt would ignite it.
Yes.
It would not light it so much as it would ignite.
I mean, I can aim it at the oil, and theoretically, it could just light the oil, right?
Well, firebolt is more of a force projected missile. It is not so much. It is not used for. What's the word I'm looking for?
Igniting?
No, it is not used for small, finessed action. You shoot the firebolt at something, it's effectively you're launching a burning ball of fire from a slingshot.
See, you don't have control over it really.
It's a projectile missile more than it is a finesse item. I can't think of the word I'm trying to think of is escaping me.
All I can think of is kindling.
It says it's a
Well,
mote
It is
of
not
fire.
used. It is not used for delicate operations. There we go.
Yeah, because it says it's a mote of fire, and if a flammable object is hit by the spell, it ignites if it's not being worn or carried.
Yes, but in the instance of you specifically targeting something that you're holding and you're not trying to move it out of the way, it would ignite. But you're not. Yeah, actually, Farisol says it perfectly. You're basically using the fire flower from Mario. It's a small ball of fire that shoots forward. It is not a thin little wisp of flame. You would want to use something like prestidigitation to light a small flame.
Or I could hurl a mote of fire at something that I can ignite, and then use that thing to light the lamp.
Absolutely.
Eh?
Or you could just take one of the logs from the fire.
I was
Hey,
about to
hey,
say the
hey.
same thing.
Hey, you know what? Don't give me any of your logic, okay?
While this is going on, Kaylin wanted to look at the staircase we just came up to see if there's any other paths on it other than the path.
Oh, yes, it continues upward.
Okay, and there's nothing that leads back down in any way other than the ones we just came up.
Correct.
Question. When we were standing outside of this mansion, about how many stories did it look like it had?
3 full stories plus what would probably be an attic.
Okay. So, and we saw how far up? 70 feet?
Yes.
Does that add up?
Not quite.
I can't
Yeah.
do math.
Well, if you guys didn't hear me earlier, I actually gave you a description of the house itself. You noticed that when you were looking at it, there was a balcony on the 3rd floor, but on the 1st floor and also on the second, the 1st floor was 10 feet high. This floor, the ceiling seemed to be about 12 feet high.
Okay. Okay. I'm bad at math. You know.
Yeah. So based on that, the first 2 stories comprise 22 feet.
So that leaves 50 more feet unaccounted for. I want to do the same thing I've been doing and try to open this door a little bit.
If Kaylin looks up the center of the spiral staircase,
Never mind. Hold on.
does she see anything different, or is it still just now like 50 feet until kind of darkness into the rafters?
At this point, you're sort of looking up, and from the shadows coming from behind you, you look up, and yeah, it's like the wavering darkness. It's sort of hard to gauge as you follow the spiral staircase. It's somewhere between 40 and 50 feet above you. It starts to fade into darkness.
Can she try counting how many more spirals of staircases there is and kind of estimate how many floors that would be?
You're looking
To whatever
at it.
she can and can't see, obviously.
So
It
much
looks
logic.
like it looks like there's at least 2 more floors. But then again, you look, and as the shadows
It's hard
dance,
to tell.
as the shadows start to dance, you're like, wait, no. And you realize, as your eyes are trying to track the staircase, you're following the same spiral, but it seems to loop on itself. So one moment there seems like there's 2 floors, one moment there seems like there's 1, another moment it seems like there's another 4.
Speaking of Mario,
It's almost as the way that it is
basically-
designed is it's almost an optical illusion of sorts that prevents your eye from focusing too much.
Got it.
Now, Tion, you're at the door to the left, and you said you
Yes.
want to try to slowly push
same
it
thing.
open?
Yeah. If it'll move.
You
Yeah.
creak it open, and you notice there's a fire lit in this room, and it seems much larger. And the room here is heavy wooden floor, and it looks like it's lined with bookshelves from the little bit that you can see before you open the door fully.
No immediate danger that I see.
Not that you see,
Okay.
unless
Then
you're
I'll
afraid
slip.
of books.
I don't know, maybe. Then I'll open up the door more, so I can get a
Go ahead and
fuller
open the
view
door.
of the room. Click.
Red velvet drapes cover the windows of this room. An exquisite mahogany desk and matching high-back chair face the entrance, and the fireplace, above which hangs a framed picture of a windmill perched atop a rocky crag. Situated in corners of the room are 2 overstuffed chairs. Floor-to-ceiling bookshelves line the southern wall, or the northern wall, rather. A rolling wood ladder allows one to move more easily reach the higher shelves. And you see a small collection of papers on the desk. You see one of the shelves seems to have a small rock collection on it. Other than that, the room is empty.
Okay. Yeah, I'll tell everybody else that there's like a study over here, but for the most part, I'm not too interested.
Okay.
I know what I'm looking for.
I want to listen at this other door. I like entering.
Yeah, I'm also going to be paying close attention.
And Ramar, you said you're listening at the other door?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Did you say that you saw the? Did you relay that you found a study to everyone else?
Yeah, I related to the group, and then it's like, okay.
Ramari, go ahead and give me a perception check. You're watching the chat, yes? Yeah, no. I'm talking to Henry. Keep an eye on the OOC tab, Henry.
I got you.
So Kaylin is probably going to go into the study then and see if she can find stairs that lead down, or well, stairs in general.
Okay.
Once if they're going in, then Tian will make sure that there's a log in the way. He's just been carrying the same one around.
Well, next to this fireplace, you see another stack of logs as well.
Yeah.
Carrying a log perpetually.
Basically, shield, sword, log.
Is it a log? Is it a doorstop at this point?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you two move into the study. You place the log in the doorway, preventing the doors from closing. And they actually both swing closed onto that same log, so they are still open. There's a good foot or so of distance between the 2 doors. But once again, the log seems more than sufficient to keep the doors from closing into the frame. Abraham, you move over to the desk and you see not only is there some papers there, you also see an oil lamp, a jar of ink, a quill pen, a tinderbox, and a letter kit containing what seemed to be a red wax candle, a few sheets of blank parchment, and a wooden seal laying on its side. And you actually can see the seal underneath, stained with red wax, is once again the symbol of a windmill. Yeah, no. At this point, you have surmised enough that you don't know anything about this family. You don't know anything about this symbol. So you are not going to be able to take part in any history checks to remember anything specifically about the windmill symbol or the family itself. It is now solidly shown that Abraham does not know this family. Absolutely. You see, there was a couple of drawers on the desk, and on the desk, you see, as I said, the blank sheets of paper, the letter kit, the oil lamp, the ink and quill. But there's also a tattered piece of sheet music laying on the desk titled "Song for Elizabeth," and there's a partially burnt note that's sort of half covered by it. And it reads, "Bulwarton's words can open the way." I will type it into the chat, yes.
Sorry, I was just gonna say, while everybody was exploring all this stuff, Chris would like to walk around that main area, kind of trailing her hand along the wall, seeing if she can find any hitches or anything that might indicate a secret door, secret passage, because she is convinced that there's a secret something because there's no basement door so far.
Okay. And as you're doing so, and you're moving around the room, Chrysadara, one of the things you notice is you see the design of, where did it go? You see the design of the children dancing among the trees. But as you sort of look, as you get closer, hold on. Neko Foxy can't hear us apparently. Testing.
You can hear the DM and violin.
All right. Could everyone else speak for a moment in turn? Jay,
Hello.
Henry,
What's going on?
Kaylee.
Testing 1 2.
Everyone else was just speaking. Tony, could you speak up for a moment? All right, Farasel can hear us all. Feo can hear everyone except Tony. Did you accidentally mute yourself in the stream? Did your headset die?
I mean, I'm hearing Tony in Discord, but I'm not hearing him on the stream.
Yeah, I'm hearing Tony clearly in Discord.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Must have accidentally turned off audio capture to the stream.
Tony's trying to fix the mic issue right now. Apparently, it's not picking up his mic, but you can hear everyone else, yes?
Let's say we can keep going
Yes.
without telling.
And as I was saying, Chris, you were looking at the walls trying to find secret doors or anything like that. But one thing that you did notice was that the children that seem to be dancing, they're not dancing. Upon closer look, it seems like the youths have their hands in the air, one leg up, things like that. And it looks like they're trying to run away from or fight off swarms of bats swooping down at them from the trees.
Oh, goodness. Well, that's interesting. As I'm walking along and I notice this, I hear them talking about stuff on the desk, and I see the quill and parchments and stuff, and I get very excited because I lost my quill and parchments and ink pot. And I explain to them what I saw on the walls, and I start making a mad dash for the desk.
All right, everybody should be able to hear me now in the stream. All right.
All right, Tony's mic should be up and running again, everybody.
Can everybody
I
hear
him
me
on
now?
the stream. Yeah.
Okay.
So we can
sorry
hear the
about-
grumpy old man who just wants his potato.
What's my
By the way,
what's my
Abraham, are you
potato?
still carrying that potato in your hand?
Yeah, I have it in my pocket of my. I carry the potato in my pocket, and everything should be fine.
Please go to your character sheet and in your inventory, please add potato.
I will add the potato. I also took a carrot.
Well,
All right, you have a
Kaylin's gonna
potato
check,
and a carrot.
Kaylin's gonna check this room for any staircases or anything like that. So should I roll investigation?
Absolutely, give me an investigation, Kaylee, as you're sort of walking around. Chris, you make your way up to the desk. You see the sheet music, the ink pot, the quill, the 4 or 5 sheets of blank parchment. And that is a 10 investigation. You're looking around, and the main wall by the fireplace seems blank, seems bare. There doesn't seem to be anything there, other than the fact that the one set of candelabrum are not lit. But you start looking at the bookshelves, and you notice there's the small rock collection sitting on one of the shelves. Each stone has a small label with what you assume is its scientific name. There's like 10 or 12 different types of stones. You also notice that on the bookshelf, you see one book that stands out to you among all the others. The History of Abraham von Valspear.
What?
I didn't say anything, so you don't know that. But Kaylin's gonna think that's interesting, and she's gonna go try to grab the book.
You take the book off the shelf. It's a fairly weighty tome. At a glance, it's probably somewhere around 800 pages. And
And
Chris, you're currently
looks
collecting
like,
the inkwell, quill, and papers off the desk, yes?
I would like to gather them up, yes.
Okay. There are also drawers on the desk that Abraham was looking at.
I
All
don't
right,
really
now,
care to steal things. I need ink and parchment in order to, document everything. Not because I want to steal, but because I need to document all these things.
And while this is happening, Kaylin, you with the book.
yes. I don't know if you're muted or lagged out.
Kaylin.
No, I'm waiting to hear what you're doing. You said that you
Oh,
the book.
okay. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the
It happens.
Kaylin, have you found something over there? Anything of interest?
Kaylin's gonna flip through the like first couple of pages and see what the book is about, and see like if
It's written almost in the style of a historical biography, talking about a young Abraham being born in the Dale Lands and growing up, talking about their childhood. And It's very mundane. Like
Is there a
it is
table of-
going through details.
Is there a table of contents with?
There is not.
Okay.
But as you start flipping through, you realize of the 800 pages, there a good 600 of them are filled. And as you start to get to the last few pages, it's starting to catch up a little bit more, and you find pages on the Lucky Griffin Tavern and meeting these other strange adventurers. And as you flip to the last page, you see that it talks of Abraham in a study standing next to a companion asking if they had found anything. They pulled the book down off the shelf and began to read, unaware of the creature that watched them from the shadows. Slowly,
Kaylin's gonna drop the book.
Slowly, the beast began to creep forward.
What's going
And
on?
as you drop the book hits the ground with a loud slam to the floor and flips closed.
And she's gonna gasp.
With that, we go to Tion and Ramari. What are you two doing?
Rumari was listening to the door, right?
Yes.
Tian is going to do his normal thing, just walk up and open it. But for the most part, he's just looking around to see if there's nothing else for him to do. But mostly during that whole exchange, he's just kind of like looking around and trying to see if there's anything weird about this room in general.
All right, go ahead and open the door.
Umari has a dagger ready.
All right.
Tian hasn't put the sword away yet. He's just had it out this entire time.
You two look into this lit room and you see gossamer drapes covering the windows of this elegantly appointed hall. There's a brass-plated chandelier hanging from the ceiling, upholstered chairs lining the walls, and stained glass wall hangings depicting beautiful men, women, and children singing and playing instruments. There's a harpsichord with a bench in the southeast corner, and near the fireplace is a large standing harp. On the mantelpiece from where you stand, alabaster figurines adorn it.
Tian's gonna give a quick glance to Rumari and then take a few steps into the room. Just looking around, and it's just the two instruments in there?
Yes, plus all of the seating. This looks like it's probably some sort of dance hall.
Yeah. He's like immediately enchanted by that piano.
Well, we should wait.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're right. And he turns back around to wait for the others, wherever they are, or whatever they're doing.
And the chairs there look extremely comfortable. Like they're very plushly filled.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm. That'll fool Chris, but not me.
Don't sit in the chairs.
So we go back. Abraham, you don't see them from where you are.
Oh, I thought it was...
Remember, you are limited to the sight of your character's token.
Oh, that's right.
So we come back to Kaylin, Abraham, and Chris. Chris, you're sort of gathering the things on the desk as you hear a thud on the floor to your right, and you hear Kaylin gasp.
And
What's wrong?
Kaylin's gonna draw her weapon, and I was gonna say, "There's a monster stalking us." And then she's gonna look around to see if she can see it.
I'm going to...
Go ahead and give me a perception check, Kaylin.
While she's doing that, I'm going to use message and point in the direction towards the front door of the room that we're in, and try to send a message. To send a message to Tian and Rumari, and I'm going to send one to Tian first. I'm going to say, "There's a monster."
I was gonna ask, since the door's open, do we hear what they're saying from in the hallway?
You would hear Kaylin say there's a monster stalking us, but the other stuff, probably not, because it is like 60 feet away.
Okay.
And Chris, as you turn and point, you're actually looking directly at Tian as you do this.
Mm-hmm.
And Tian, you hear Chris's voice in your head. Or rather, whispering in your ear.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna make my way over as soon as I hear anything about there being trouble.
And Kalen, you start looking around. Now you're jumping at shadows, but you do not see anything. Abraham.
Still make sure
what
the
are you
door's
doing?
open.
Okay, so Kaylee has yelled that she sees a monster or something, right?
That there is a monster stalking you.
There's a monster
I
stalking
said
me.
us, but yeah.
You collectively, not you specifically.
Well, I just want to make that clear because the book technically was written.
Whatever was in that book, it terrified you so. Enough that you think something is here. What did you read? What was in it?
And I also take a perception check to see if I see any monster or anything, because you said she didn't see a monster, right?
Correct.
She has not indicated to you that she sees a monster, just that she knows that one is stalking us.
All right, I'm going to see if I see one too, because now I'm nervous.
That if something is here, we need to find it.
Yeah.
And I look around and do my perception.
I would like to also look around.
And I don't see jack shit.
Go ahead. Everyone can give me a perception check at this point. Why not?
Everything's a shadow. Everything is spooky.
Let's see if someone can roll above a 15.
Right?
I mean, damn, dude, all of us roll above.
It's all down to Tion at this point.
If it'll open his character sheet, jeez.
I mean, I think I did roll above.
Those of you that are having issues with your character sheets, use the pop out feature on your character sheet and just make it a secondary tab.
Oh wait, no.
On the top bar of the character sheet, you'll see the word pop out, and it'll let you pop it out as a separate window. Tony, don't do that. Yes, perception. The reason I tell you not to do it, Tony, is because you're window capturing your screen, and I don't want it to mess it up.
Reading the results from the perception checks.
Did it do my perception check yet?
It did not give me yours yet.
Okay.
But here, let me look at your perception, your base perception. Okay.
Okay, there we go.
Horrible. There it is. Yeah, no. None of you see any type of shadowy creature or monster.
Amazing. When I look around and I don't see anything, I'm imagining that she's like seeing things. So I'm going to reach down and pick up the book that she dropped to see if maybe there was something in there that spooked her rather than actually out here.
All right, you pick up the book and you notice it is a leather-bound volume with no title on the cover.
Interesting. Is there anything inside? Is it empty?
As you open it up and start flipping through, it is a blank book.
Miss Kaylin. And then I turn as I'm holding it towards her and flipping through the pages, and I'm like, excuse me. Well, there's nothing in here. What spooked you so?
What does Kaylin see when she looks at the book again? She only gives it a slight.
It is a blank book.
She's gonna be like freaked out even more and kind of like shaking as she talks. She's like, it said it was a history of Abraham, and then I flipped to the last page and it said there was a monster. It described this room and it described me grabbing the book, and then it said a monster was about to attack us.
And
can Abraham hear
somewhere, someone must have just walked over your grave as you feel just a shiver go down your spine. And you swear somewhere you can hear a deep, dark laughter echoing in your mind.
Lovely.
Everybody sees her visibly shudder.
Could Abraham hear what she said about me being in the book?
Oh yeah, you're all within like 10 feet of each
there.
other. You all hear clearly.
But it's clearly a fabrication designed to tear us apart. and make us
So I
question
just-
each other's loyalty.
Kaylin's gonna start mumbling a prayer to the Morning Lord.
This whole place is really unsettling.
This place has already shadowed our perceptions. I think we should just keep moving.
I'm curious about something, and I point to the desk that had a note that said something about Bullwharton, and I'm gonna say, I'm curious about something. I'd like to take a quick look at some of these books, and I'm going to start running my fingers along each spine, looking for an author name, a title name, anything that says Bullwharton.
I'd like to help, if she says that out loud at least.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, we just got raided.
Meow, meow, meow.
Yeah, I saw it.
Hey, Dungeon Mama.
Thank you, Dungeon Mom.
Yep, thank you for the raid. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
So, Chris, as you're running your fingers along the spines, eventually you come across a book on one of the shelves titled An Architect's Art, and it is written by Archibald Bullwharton.
Ooh. I would like to express to them, I found it. I think this might be something. And I excitedly go to pull it off the shelf.
Now
Kaylin's
you're
gonna
up on,
ask what you
Oh.
found.
and as you're on the ladder reaching up to that book, you go to pull it off the shelf, and you feel the book tilt towards you. You almost lose your balance in that moment as the book tilts but does not come off the shelf. But you hear a loud hissing and a click come from somewhere within the room as the book only tilts out from the shelf and does not come off.
Ooh! Ooh! You guys hear that?
Kaylin's gonna jump and is like, "It's the monster! It's stalking us!"
Something is amiss. Steel yourselves.
I tilted a book and then I heard some mechanism snap. Do you guys see anything?
I'll take a look around the room.
It looks as if something's around this corner. The bookcase has tilted away and opened up a passage for us. I'll stay back here to make sure everything's safe.
I'll stay well out of range of anything.
I saw it also from kind of where I was around the corner, so I'll go up and kind of just peek around the corner.
Kaylin is gonna stand next to Abraham, still with her weapon drawn and still kind of be on edge, looking for anything that's gonna attack him.
Chris
You
will
look inside of the
rush down the
room.
ladder and join everyone.
Rumare. Everyone sort of joins around the corner. The note and sheet music left forgotten on the desk. You see that this room is
Sheet music?
lined with bookshelves, packed with tomes. These are all black and brown and tan covered tomes. And you look over, and some of them are titled about fiends and devil summoning and strange rituals. The necromantic rituals of a cult called the Priests of Osibis. At the end of the room, though, there is a heavy wooden chest with clawed iron feet standing against the wall, its lid half closed. Hanging out of the chest is a skeleton in leather armor.
Goodness.
And as you look a little bit closer at it, Rumari, with your dark vision, you can see what looks to be in its chest and shoulder, what look to be 3 darts sticking into the rib cage and armor of this skeleton.
I'm going to look back to the others once and then start creeping into the room.
Well, I was hoping that when it said open the way, it would open the front door, but this is interesting.
Yeah, it's just, does this... Well, I will open the chest all of the way.
All right, as you move up, the chest, you push it open, and immediately, a sound you are all too familiar with. You hear the sound of a click of some sort of mechanism firing,
Uh-huh.
but nothing happens.
Oh, hell.
You see inside of this chest there are black leather clad books. You see 3 tightly wrapped scrolls with black silk ribbon. You see a small scroll case. And you also see a small letter that is wrapped, bulging slightly, and has a red wax seal of a windmill.
Okay.
What'd you say? I didn't hear you.
I just said okay.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
The skeleton. Our leather armor, darts in it. Does it look armed? Like, was the person armed?
You sort of look at it and the way it's laying, and you look to the left-hand side of the chest, and you see wedged between the wall and the chest itself is, as you pulled the skeleton away from the chest and it fell away, the arm bones and hand itself sort of just fell away from it, and you see what was once clutched in the hand. You see a small steel dagger.
Okay. Okay. All right.
What's in there, Ramari?
A dead person. And I'm going to start taking the books and the scroll and the letter out of the chest and kind of just stack them on the floor behind me. And
so as Rumari reaches into the chest, she slowly pulls out 3 books, 3 scrolls, a letter, and a scroll case.
Ooh. I'm gonna start ripping them open to look at them.
Which do you start with?
The one that has a wax seal, because obviously it's some sort of noble seal that I don't recognize.
As you pick it up, the red wax windmill seal, it's heavy. And you rip the wax open. And you see in halting script, "My dear Dimov, I must confess, my nights as of late have been sleepless. The child's wails these past several evenings have kept me awake, haunting these halls like a ghost. Margaret does her best, but other clouds yet trouble my dreams. My beloved Elizabeth, I am sure, feels it too, for she tosses and turns in her bed and awakes with her forehead slick with sweat. Over the past several congregations, I have become suspicious of the ambitions of the others. Their dark murmurs worry me, and though I know that a shadow ought not fear a blacker night, I cannot but fear for the extent of their plotting. If anything happens, you are to be steward of our parents' home and caretaker of my children. Keep Rosavalda and Thornbolt safe, and dear Walter close to your breast. Should the worst come to pass, you shall be all they have left. Your loving brother, Gustav." And wrapped inside of this letter, you see a heavy iron key.
I'm going to place that off behind me and sort of pass it towards Tian. And I'm going to just say, this is very interesting. You should take a look through it. And then move on to the next scroll.
Now, while you're reading through that first scroll, Rumari is emptying things out of the chest. Is anyone else doing anything while you're reading through that? Because it takes you about a minute.
Yeah.
Caitlin's just looking for an attack.
Tian is just watching what they're doing in there, making sure that nothing's gonna go off and, I don't know, injure them.
Abraham? Okay. Rumari, are you just watching as Chris starts going through everything?
I want to take the darts that are in the body.
You sort of push the skeleton onto its back, a little bit of dust kicking up, and you remove the 3 darts from the leather armor. And one thing you notice is that on one of the darts, you notice that the tip, red with blood. You also notice that the blood, though dried, there's almost a blackish tinge to it, as if it was tainted. So whatever was on these darts was probably poisonous, though it's long since been rendered inert. Make a note in the Discord. I will add 3 darts to your character sheet a little bit later.
Okay. I'll take the dagger too.
All right. All right. So we come back to Chris. What do you open next? You have the scroll case. You have 3 scrolls, and you have 3 books.
The scroll case. Whatever's in a case must be more important than the others, right?
Okay. So you pick up the leather and wood scroll case, slowly undoing the cap. And you look inside, and you see 3 pieces of paper that are wrapped up inside of it. Rolled up inside of it, rather. As you remove them,
I'd like to remove them, yes. I'd like to read through them.
You see one of them. And I will actually get you the paperwork for these at another point, and I will actually post them both in the chat, and I will also post them into the game to actually add imagery for later. You find a deed to a windmill. You find a deed to the home of which you stand in, and a signed will. The will is signed by Gustav and Elizabeth Durst and bequeaths the house, the windmill, and all other family property to Rosavalda and Thornbolt Durst in the event of their parents' deaths. The windmill seems to be located somewhere on the mountains east of Valaki, a city you have never heard of.
East of Valaki. Okay. And, I mean, I'd like to continue looking through all the other papers. I know there's 3 other ones you said, right?
They are each wrapped with black silk thread.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Yes.
Chris, did you mention that the paper that you found that said Bull Wharton's words come up in the way? Did you mention that you found that on the desk along with other stuff?
Yeah, I did.
Did you mention sheet music?
Yeah, I had picked up all the parchments, so I have the note. I have the sheet music.
I thought you only picked up the blank parchment. I thought you left the sheet music and.
I'm an information whore. I'm gonna collect everything I can. So I've got the book that's blank with all the parchments and stuff placed into it, folded up. So
In that case, Tian would ask about the sheet music because there is a music room right across the hall.
oh, yeah, I will pull it out and hand it to him.
All right.
Okay. So, the other scrolls that you open up, you recognize this type of writing. It's magical in nature.
Do I know what they are or no?
You can't decipher it. It makes no sense to you.
Can I try an Arcana check, please?
You absolutely can.
Okay. So I'm going to say, this is very strange. It looks like some sort of writing that I don't understand. Does anybody else understand this? And I try to decipher it.
One thing I will let everybody know now, one of the other house rules that I forgot to add in that I will be adding in. Anyone, regardless of class, can attempt to decipher, read, and cast from a spell scroll. If you're trying to cast from a class list that you do not normally have access to, the difficulty class is the level of the spell, as it normally is 10 plus the level of the spell, plus 6. So a first level spell that is not part of your class list has a DC 17 check that you have to beat.
Interesting.
And what happens if you fail it?
Do you want to find out?
Tian will take a quick look at the scrolls if Chris is going to show him.
Yeah, I'm passing them back. I'm just gonna do an Arcana check on each of the 3. So I did 1.
Well, that 8 is accompanying all of them, and no, they're all in that same style of language that makes no sense to you.
Got it.
But as you pass them over to Tian, you look and you realize these are written in a divine script. And at a quick glance, you recognize both of them. You recognize the spells as a blessing spell and a spell that allows you to conjure a spiritual weapon.
Oh, nice. Well, yeah, I'll tell that to Chris. I'll basically translate it.
What's the third one?
You have 1 scroll of bless and 1 scroll of spiritual weapon at first level.
Well, sorry, I thought you said there was a third one. Was there a third one?
There were 2 scrolls that were spells. The third scroll.
Oh, got it. Okay.
As you open it, once again, you see a very flowing script. This one much more elaborate in design. Okay. My most pathetic servant. I am not a messiah sent to you by the dark powers of this land. I have not come to lead you on a path to immortality. However many souls you have bled on your hidden altar, however many visitors you have tortured in your dungeon, know that you are not the ones who brought me to this beautiful land. You are but worms writhing in my earth. You say that you are cursed, your fortune spent. You abandoned love for madness, took solace in the bosom of another woman, and sired a bastard son. Cursed by darkness? Of that I have no doubt. Save you from your wretchedness? I think not. I much prefer you as you are. Your dread lord and master, Strahd von Zarovich.
Does that... Have we heard about... Oh no, we heard about Strahd from the Vistani, right?
No.
No,
we
they
only
only
said... We
said...
didn't hear his name, okay.
Yeah.
None of you have heard that name before.
They said their prince is cursed. That's all we've heard.
I'm well aware.
Goodness.
Are you reading this aloud, or?
Yes, I would.
So then Kaylin would say, is like, oh, so then this Mr. Durst that we're talking about, is this the prince at the Vistani we're talking of? They said their prince was cursed, right?
Well, it says no matter how many people you bleed at your altar, I'm not your something. I'm not the person
This-
you're calling for.
This
I am
house
not your
doesn't.
messiah.
Not your
Yeah.
messiah.
This house doesn't seem like it would belong to a prince, more a lord.
Yes. It definitely seems like a noble house, but this is not a princely estate.
Yeah.
I know nothing of nobles nor what they would or wouldn't own, but could it just be a figure of speech when they call him their prince?
It could be, but
All that seems to be left in this room are the tomes on the walls of demonology and rituals, the leather armor on the skeleton, and the 3 black books that were in the chest.
I'm going to do a quick scan of those books just to make sure that there's nothing that might be of use.
Which books?
Since- Of the ones that are on the walls. Sorry, just any of
Okay.
them.
Yeah, you
Anything
just
pops
grab
out
one or
to
two
me.
of them and start flipping through them. And they read like someone who's trying to pretend they know what magic is, but they clearly don't. It doesn't take you long at all to realize, oh, this
Okay.
is snake oil.
Got it.
Would the armor on the skeleton fit Tian?
It would probably be a tight fit, but with a little bit of alteration and a little bit of discomfort, you could probably fit into the leather armor, yes.
If nobody else is gonna claim it, I'm gonna slip in there and yoink it.
I'll hand it back. Yeah.
Alright, thank you.
I've got mine.
We'll add that to
Okay.
your character after session tonight. We'll add all
Gotcha.
of the stuff to your sheets.
Do you want this
So-
dagger also?
Caitlin's
Sure.
gonna shoot Tien a side eye when he does that.
What?
Do you respond in character?
If I
He
see
just
a
sort of looks at
side-eye,
you,
then...
what?
What?
Yeah, that-
Yeah.
She's gonna say, "That's not yours. You shouldn't be taking it."
If we're gonna fight something in here, then I'm gonna need it. If not,
And as Kaylin is saying this to Tien, she's looking him over, and she sees that he has a sword with a windmill cameo, a shield with a windmill emblazoned on it, and now leather armor.
he has no intention of keeping this if he doesn't need it.
The dead
But
person's
it's-
not using it.
Yeah, the dead person's not using it. And if there's gonna be a fight going down, he needs something. And if something happens and it's all done, he'll give it back.
So,
Useful
One-
spells.
Well, a few. Yeah, we were talking about them. We said what they were. We
Yeah.
said that there was a
Yeah.
spiritual weapon, a bless, and then there was just like a bunch of, like a will, a deed, stuff like that.
Rock, paper, scissors. I want the spiritual weapon. Okay. I won't use it unless it's
Chris just
Yeah, go
shrugs
for
her
it.
shoulders. I don't mess with the divine magic. Yes.
Can't-
Your Lord is mighty.
Tian will clap Abraham on the back like, yeah. Feel ya.
so after about 5 minutes, Tian is fully suited in the leather armor.
As best as he can be.
Um,
Chris is sitting here like I'm surrounded by religious nuts.
not quite fat, not quite Chris Farley, fat guy in a little coating it, but it's definitely not like Tion's arms no longer go all the way down to his sides. It's definitely going to take some alteration for it to fit comfortably on him.
Yeah, but it's something in the meantime.
And with that, we're going to move on to the conservatory because you said that you did want to look at the sheet music, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So just to speed things along at this point, the party is going to move across the hall.
Across the way.
Hey, Lord Gasumba and friends.
Another raid
Yep.
with a party of 54. Thank you, guys.
Ooh, damn.
Welcome, welcome. How's it going, Jay? I'm glad you guys could stop in for a minute and say hi. Oh, really? We are Morpheus. We are not in Greyhawk. We are currently in Barovia, the dread realm of Ravenloft. This is Foundry indeed. And as a matter of fact, just since we have a bunch of people in a raid real quick, I'm going to pull up one of the other maps just to show them a little bit of how it looks and how things work. We're just going to drop you guys back down to the Svalich Wood for a moment, and then we'll come right back to the conservatory.
What is this? What is it, little man?
And unfortunately, that one is not great to really show off the abilities of this map, so you know what? Let me actually give them a little bit of a touch of what the outside of where you guys are looks like. Here we go. This will work better. It allows you to run fully animated maps. It allows you to run full interactions. All combats are fully automated with after you roll your attack, it'll automatically apply damages, resistances, it'll add effects. If someone were to throw down a fireball spell, it'll actually run the template, and once the template hits, it will also add the special effects to that. It's a really, really intuitive system overall with just the slightest of a learning curve. The biggest issue is building your character, and running through that is a little bit more of a manual process because it allows virtually every tabletop system into it. So that's really how it works. But yeah, this is fully integrated for 5e. There's full customizations available. And unlike Roll20, you literally pay for Foundry. One person pays for it once, allowing everyone else access to it. So I purchased the license for it. Everyone else is connected to it free of charge.
When you gotta go.
Yeah, we did. We committed 2 murders. Don't shortchange us, Tony.
Don't shortchange.
And Tony was telling me that you guys enjoy playing in the realm of Greyhawk. Well, if that is something you would be interested in, and you can give me a module or adventure that you would like to be ran on a virtual tabletop, I have the capability to build the full thing out with maps and lighting and all of this as well. I would be more than happy to set something like that up for you guys so we could run through that as well. As Tony says, we do run sessions, we do run virtual DMing. Tony will give you all those details in a minute. I would be more than happy to set this up. I'll run a table up to 8 people with no issue. And Antiquitus, you say there's a charity session in February. Please, I'm Punstriped Suit in the chat. Please send me all the details. I would be more than happy to take part in that and give my time for any charity event. And yeah, if you have other questions, feel free to reach out to us. But all right, guys, let us get back to the game. We got about 20 minutes or so before the stream is over tonight, and we still have quite a ways to go. So, we return to the second floor of what you believe now to be the Durst Manor as you head into the conservatory. Sheet music in hand, harpsichord in the corner, a small harp near the fireplace, plush chairs and furniture adorning the walls, small alabaster figurines along the mantelpiece, and gossamer curtains covering the windows. As you step into the room, you can hear your footsteps clicking and echoing on the marble floor.
I'd like to point out that because my backpack kind of disappeared, I'm sort of juggling things, and I would like to keep a lookout for any sort of stack that I can use.
As you say that, you think back down on the first floor. There were a couple of grain sacks and things like that in the kitchen. You could have easily taken one of those, emptied it out, and used that as a sack.
Mm.
There were also the foot lockers and the servants' quarters that you could use if you wanted to
Just
carry
down
one
the
of
hall.
those.
I will relay that to everyone. Can we please just, I at some point before we move forward, grab some sacks so that we can carry all of these things?
Of course. But first, I'd like to figure out what the sheet music is about. Tian's probably more familiar with the harpsichord, however it's pronounced.
Harpsichord.
Harpsichord. And he can read sheet music decently.
Okay.
So I guess it'll start playing the notes.
And as you do, you sit down at the bench in front of the harpsichord, laying the sheet music up for the song for Elizabeth. And the notes start to echo through the chamber as everyone sort of steps in and is looking around. You notice that the lantern light along the wall starts to flicker and fade for a moment. And as it comes
Sorry.
back up, you notice that the room fills with translucent figures, ghostly individuals that start dancing 2 by 2 throughout the hall.
About how many?
Easily a dozen individuals that are dancing in this room. They seem to take no note of you, save for 2. Standing on either side of the fireplace, you see 2 individuals with dour stares that seem to be staring at each of you in turn. And anything more than a cursory glance allows you to recognize them as the 2 adults from the family painting over the mantelpiece out in the hallway. And as your eyes lock with them, you suddenly hear a loud twanging as rapidly from right to left, all of the strings of the harpsichord snap and cut, and the room falls silent. And as it does, the ghosts all vanish.
As soon as all that happens, Han's like, okay. Okay.
Yeah, you pull your hands back just as a couple of those wires snap forward, threatening to sever your fingers.
Please tell me I'm not the only one that saw that. And I'll look to everybody else.
I assume
Kaylin
we all
won't-
saw that.
Kaylin won't say anything, but she'll just kind of nod her head, yeah.
Tian will get up from the bench, close the sheet music again, and just step over and say, I thought that would do something else, but I guess it just summoned ghosts.
And in the silence of the room, everyone please move your characters into the conservatory as well, because this is where everyone was at this point, because I'm guessing none of you are going to be separating from the party.
I'm just standing
Or
kind
risking
of in the doorway.
separation from the party. Yeah.
Where's Abraham?
You hear a faint whining coming from further in the room. Almost like an animal in pain.
Can I do a nature check to see if I can discern what kind of animal that is?
Go ahead.
Dope. Let's do that right there. Those are the sweet, sweet sounds of I don't know.
Is that a
Even with a
monkey?
5, you recognize the sound of what sounds to be a dog whining in pain or fear.
Seems like it's a dog. It's very odd. Do we see anything?
As you look further into the room, underneath one of the far chairs on the left-hand side, you can see the shape of some sort of figure hiding underneath the draped coverings of the chair.
Oh, this is my moment to shine. I use animal handling, and I start to approach it very gently and not aggressively at all.
Go ahead and give me an animal handling check.
Oh, I'm so gentle. Please, be my friend.
And as you sort of hunker down and put your hand out, you see slowly poking its head out from under the chair is a rail-thin, large-eyed dog. It looks to be some sort of mastiff, but it is obviously heavily underfed, and you can see its rib cage along its coat. and a heavy collar and tag around its neck, and it's just sort of whining, looking up at you.
Hold on a second. I think I can handle this.
And I take out the potato and the carrot, and I kind of go over there and I hand it, but to the kind of put it in front of the mastiff, but I don't get too. Oh, I was gonna move myself, but thank you. I don't get too close. So yeah, I kind of
Here, big one. Perhaps this will help you.
and I kind of put it there and then cautiously back away.
You sort of like set the food down and roll it a bit closer to him, and he sort of sniffs, moving forward, sniffing at the food before very rapidly chomping into it, and you can see these powerful jaws just tear into the flesh of the potato and tear through the carrot in a matter of moments before swallowing and just sort of like sitting down and looking at you, its tail slowly thumping on the ground.
That's a good boy. Very good. Very good job there. All right, it looks as if this dog was very hungry. Not a danger to us.
I'm gonna
It
try to
slowly
approach
starts
it.
to like pad towards you,
I'd like to try to pet it.
head down low as it looks at you, the tail slowly wagging. You put your hand out, it gives it a slow sniff before it just sort of like nudges your fingers and then gives you a short lick before you start petting it. And as you do, you sort of look at the collar and you can see the tag reads Sir Gwyllim, Gwyllim.
GWYLLM?
Lim.
Gwillem.
Willem.
That's a fascinating name. It looks on his collar here. This dog has a name.
Can I do a history check for the name Gwillem to see if it means anything that we would understand?
Sure.
Or something, or invest. I don't know, whatever investigation. I don't-
It would be a history check because it sounds like some sort of lordly or knightly name. So it would definitely be a history check from you, Abraham.
Hold on, I'm thinking that I might remember something about this name, Gwillem.
Can
It's
I try
coming
to
to
give
me.
him advantage? I like to try to assist him by talking through it with him.
Okay, all right.
Go ahead and roll again, Tony, and take the higher of the two rolls. So roll once more. All right, same roll.
There, come on. Well, apparently, Gwillem doesn't mean crap to me because it just means Gwillem, a
name-
strange-ass name.
The name Gwillem, it faintly registers on your consciousness, Abraham.
Wait.
You remember talking with someone many, many, many years ago
I remember someone many years ago.
about
It's coming to me
an
now.
order of knights
The Order of
who
Knights.
stood against some sort of darkness and
Oh, yes.
fell into obscurity over the years.
Oh, yes,
And you know
there it
that
is.
Sir Gwillem fell in that conversation, but you'll be damned if you can remember the details.
Oh, it's all, well, some of it at least is coming to me. There was a battle and Sir Gwillem fell against a dark power, but I can't seem to remember anything else other than that. My memory is failing, but at least I remember some of it.
And I just looked into the chat and immediately regretted it. Dreaded Yeti says, Sir Gwillem, it's an old Gaelic name that means I ate your potato.
Hey, see, and everybody
yeah.
laughed when I picked up the potato and the carrot. See, but see, obscure items. If you remember Drist, the bag of flour. That's all I'm gonna say.
And with that, Sir Gwillem sort of sits down by your side.
Oh, that's a good boy.
And I go ahead and I pet him, and
Gwillem, I think that me and you could be friends. You've not been taken care of, I see. Don't worry. We're here now.
and I kind of give him a good rub on his side and give him a good hard pat.
You're a handsome fella. Like me, a sexy old devil.
And somewhere in the distance, above you, you hear the sound of stone grinding.
Like a door opening, or just like a mechanism?
Like stone grinding on stone.
Interesting. I'm going to say to the dog. And I'm gonna try to relay it to him. Obviously, he's a freaking dog, but I'm gonna say, "There's a kitchen downstairs. Maybe we can try to find some more food for you to eat." And try to start leading him in that direction and see if he'll come with me.
As you start to move, the dog looks at Abraham, looks at you, cocks his head to the side, and sort of like pads between the two of you. So, I need to ask the party now. Will you be making your way back downstairs to the kitchen, or will you be going upstairs?
I would like to. Chris's vote is to go back to the kitchen to gather sacks to gather all of our stuff, and to try and feed the doggo.
Chris, if Chris is going downstairs, Tian will accompany just to make sure that nobody's alone. And if other people want to come along, then all the better.
We should stay together.
Old man, I will follow with the party with my new dog friend. Here, Gwillem. Come, Gwillem. Let us go.
Kaylin will also stay with the group.
Then we'll go downstairs.
Okay. You all start to head back downstairs. Give me a moment, and I will alter the map.
Kaylin's also going to keep her eye at the top of the stairs, at least on the way up the stairs, considering that's where we heard the stone grinding sound.
Mm-hmm. You sort of look up, but you don't really notice anything. And when you get to the top, like the stairs leading back upwards, you notice there's a cool or cold draft that seems to be floating down from up there.
Right. She's
A
just
problem for another time.
She's just going to keep her eye on it in case something comes from that direction, not necessarily expecting to see anything at the moment.
Yeah. And as you head back downstairs, you notice all of the doors are closed.
Interesting. Well, we do know that they close on their own.
We didn't leave any logs down here in the doors, except for the one at the foyer, I believe, right?
I thought we were picking them up and bringing them with us, right?
We left the one. We left the one in the foyer because that's the door that leads out. But every other one, I was taking them as I left.
So you head into the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
The dog immediately bounds in and starts digging into some of the sacks and some of the food.
Gwillem, wait, Gwillem!
Is the foyer one also closed, even though we know we left a log?
Yes.
There? Got it.
And there is no log in front of the door.
I am placing some of the potatoes, carrots, like just some of the items that I think we'll keep for a while, into a sack along with the other items that I have obtained. Okay.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Anything else from you guys?
Well, my dog is in the kitchen, right? Gwillem is in the kitchen. I don't see him around, but I assume he's in there. Well, obviously, then
He bounded directly into the kitchen. You can hear him loudly munching.
Our dog.
I will be right back. I am so sorry.
We're puppy co-parents, okay?
I'm a big dog lover too. I've had rescue dogs.
Yeah. Yeah. That's great. Thank goodness for good-hearted people.
Mm-hmm.
So sorry about that. My cat got into something. Oh,
About dogs and people.
all right. So you gather up things. You gather up a few sacks. You gather some provisions. The dog seems to eat his fill, and then just sort of drop down and flop himself down, looking at all of you, tongue lolling out of its mouth.
I'm going to pet him. I'm just so happy to have a dog companion around. Chris is like a kid in a candy store right now. She loves animals so much, and she's so excited to see one that's friendly.
Tian's more indifferent to animals. He doesn't hate them, but he doesn't necessarily like them.
So
Umar is a cat person.
with that, you gather a couple of sacks to carry your things in, gather some provisions, and you make your way back upstairs. The sound of the stone grinding on stone making you curious. But even more than that, as you sort of stand near the stairway debating on what's going on, faintly in the distance you swear you can hear the cry of an infant from far above you.
Guess up we go again.
And I'm just going to place your characters on the map up here. I'm putting Abraham in the front just because it's the way I've placed them. And you make your way up to the 3rd floor. I'm aware. I do as well, my friend. I do as well. And as you make your way up this stairwell, that cold breeze hits you. And you come up on a dusty balcony, cobwebs coating the area around you. The area seems to be in disrepair. You see the walls themselves, the wallpaper and paint are peeling and faded. Everything here just seems old and decrepit and dusty. And sitting on the far wall of the room, you see a couple of sets of doors and a hallway that leans around the corner. And positioned in the wall, you see once again one of those black suits of plate mail with the wolf head visor, standing as a lone sentry on this balcony. You also notice that the stairway ends here.
Okay.
And looking down over the balcony, you can see the light from below. It's a good 60-foot drop from where you are. At least that's what you can guess.
Do we still hear the baby crying?
As you ascended the stairs, it went quiet again. But it sounded like it was getting closer as you ascended. I need to know, what do you do?
Chris doesn't know anything about kids, so she's gonna say, "Baby, baby, where are you?"
And your voice just seems to echo down that passageway of the center of the stairway. And it comes back at you a little bit distorted and quite distant.
8th verse, same as the first. Tian wants to go to a door. Wow.
30 feet. There is a ruler, so you want 30 feet. That's 30 feet.
Your potato's gone.
All right, Rumari, you move forward. Tian, you move forward. Abraham, where do you go? So right where you're at. Just for ease of use, I'm going to put Sir Gwillem over here. Just because it's going to make my life easy to have him just not mixed into the party if I need to highlight you all. All right, I need to know where Chris and Kaylee are going.
I am intentionally staying near the back.
Okay, so you're staying there. And Chris or Kaylee?
Kaylin would just be kind of in the middle of the group. She's not going adventuring anywhere from anywhere.
So.
My iPad's at 5%.
Okay, and with that, Tian, you said you wanted to go to a door. You have a door directly in front of you and a door to your right. Well, a door to the right on the map.
I'll do the one to Tian's left, but yeah, they're right.
All right. You turn your head towards that door, and as you each move forward, please place your characters. Everyone will be moving up at least one square.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm waiting until people go inside the room.
And Gwillem will be right there. Oh. So, like this. And with that, Rumari, out of the corner of your eye as you're watching Tian, suddenly and almost shockingly, you see the suit of plate armor begin to move, arms reaching out towards you. And that, my friends, is where we end tonight.
Yeah.
Oh! Goodness.
This might as well happen.
And with that, I'm going to pull us back to the intro video. For anyone that has not gotten a lucky chance to see it yet, this will be a chance for you guys to sort of see the opening of the adventure. And holy crap, that's a lot of people. Thank you all for coming in and observing tonight. We greatly appreciate it. I'm Rich, your sadistic DM. Actually, DM sadistic on Twitter. Strahd von Zarovich on TikTok. This is actually primarily a stream for smaller TikTok creators. And we will have guests coming in from time to time that have 10,000, 20,000, 1.4 million followers that will be coming in to play guest NPCs. We will be playing through the entirety of Curse of Strahd with some heavy modifications.
Ooh.
As you've seen, tonight we are playing... I actually did design this opening video, yes, but I did pull from many different sources. One of the primary sources I pull from is Beneo's Battle Maps on Patreon. He is the one that creates the 3D animated maps. He's actually recreating all of Barovia using Unreal Engine 4. And he will be releasing quite a bit more. I've actually been in regular conversation with him. I'll be running them through the entire adventure. As I said, heavily modified. Those of you that have played through Curse of Strahd before or know of it, this is Death House. Death House is the opening adventure. It is not even mandatory, but it is so much fun to set the tone for what is to come. We play every Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We usually finish up right around 10 p.m. Very rarely will we go beyond that. We're very interactive with our fans. As Tony was telling some of you, we do giveaways of painted Dwarven Forge. You will get to see Tony dressed up in a full Dungeon Master costume from the 80s with wigs, singing and dancing to some of your favorite songs from the 80s. And that bases off of all of our requests and followers from the chat, you guys get to decide his fate.
Yep.
And Lomas, this is actually simply a grand expansion upon the original I-6 adventure from 2nd edition. And if you know the original adventure, some of this will be familiar to you, but quite a bit has changed. Hands down, this is the closest module that I have played in 5th edition that harkens back to the sheer terror you have as a player in 2nd edition, because it is just as deadly as But I'm Rich. I am the Dungeon Master. I run this game here for Nerdbauchery, and I am also hireable through Nerdbauchery to run other online games for you and your private groups. If there's a specific game that you guys would like to run, or if you would like to be just thrown into some random one-shots or a Monster of the Week type of adventure, you can absolutely contact us there. I have the full setup here, as you can see. And yeah. Tony, take it away from there.
Yep, and of course,
since you're the boss.
If you look below, we actually also do, aside from this awesome Curse of Strahd, we do a bunch of mediums for Dungeons and Dragons. We do PC gaming with Baldur's Gate 3, both solo and multiplayer. Then we do Curse of Strahd Virtual Tabletop. And as you see by our videos below and on our social media, we do a whole bunch of Dwarven Forge, like an entire 24 square feet of Dwarven Forge on one table. And that module we're running is a converted over 2nd edition module called the Doom of Dagger Dale that we converted over to 5th edition, and that we've run alternating every Friday and Saturday. We alternate between the good and evil groups, and the evil group 2 weeks ago committed a murder of 2 people and cannibalized the bodies. And the good,
we did.
And the good group, Rich is in the evil group, and then the good team yesterday had a epic battle. It was amazing. So if you like Dungeons and Dragons and you like all different types of mediums, maybe if you don't like terrain and miniatures, you just like watching virtual tabletop, awesome, we've got you covered. If you don't like that, but you just like watching PC games, for computer gaming, we've got you covered there too. So we hope you continue to tune in. You can hire us through lfgm.com or startplayinggames.com if you're looking for us to do a virtual game, whether it's a virtual tabletop or the Dwarven Forge setup. We do have 4 cameras for our Dwarven Forge virtual setup, including Battle Cam, and those cameras are on track so we can get a beautiful view of everything if you want to see the view. So thank you for all our supporters. This is growing much faster than we expected. Thank you for the subscribers. Thank you for Patreon supporters, and thank you for the followers, and thank you for viewers. We appreciate all the support we got. Thank you for Dungeon Master Mom for the raid, and thank you for Lord Gazumba Jay for the raid as well. That's awesome. It helps us out. Both them, they do a lot of great stuff. Jay does a lot of 1st and 2nd edition adventure stuff with Greyhawk, which I love because, my favorite edition. I love all editions, but of course, like all people, usually your first love is the one you always remember. And for me, the one I really played hard the first was 2nd edition. So that's why I discovered them. All right, so we're going to get on out of here. If everybody wants to say goodbye. Bye-bye.
Before we go, let everyone know who you are, both in-game and out-of-game, and let them know your TikToks, if you have one, or any other socials that you might have, so people can follow you there as well.
One more thing I forgot. If you have Amazon Prime and you haven't already followed somebody else, feel free to follow us. Any Prime subscription is free for you, and we could definitely use it here if you have an Amazon Prime account. It won't cost you a thing. Thanks, and I already put our socials, so I'll just leave it to everybody else.
All right.
I guess I'll go first. I'm Blue Jay. I play TN. My TikTok is Hacker Voice, but instead of an O, it's a 0. Hacker Voice 13. I don't have any content yet, but I have plans for the near future.
Okay. Next.
I'm Henry. I play Rumari. I am trans Jarlaxle like the drow here on Twitch, TikTok, and Twitter. So.
I can go next.
Okay, go ahead.
My name is Kaylee. I'm playing Kaylin here on Curse of Strahd. And so far, the only place you can find me is on the Twitch chat as NASCAT TV.
Okay, so far, but we will be seeing things from you in the future.
So far.
And once again, I am Rich, but you'll find me on Twitch here as Punstriped Suit, Twitter as DM Sadistic, and on TikTok as Strahd von Zarovich. My content ranges from reaction videos to D&D story times, and mostly promotions for this. But I actually take part in the Dark Carnival, which is slowly gaining some major traction within the TikTok community. It's a bunch of wonderful content creators and role players, and you will get to see a lot more of us in the near future. Like I said, this was Death House Part 1. They are currently entering the 3rd floor of a 4-story house. Let's see how it goes. Thank you all for coming. And just like you know, the Mists of Barovia, once you come, you're here to stay. So we'll be seeing you soon.
Bye bye, bye bye, bye bye.